Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gus out the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give it the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. One beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. show me Aston Kutcher. I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ladies and gentlemen of Prestige, what's going on? Welcome back. How the day? Everybody's good? Happy Sunday, Shewa. How's everybody going? Good? Let me see. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let's just check ourselves. I think we're good. Yes! Yeah, we're back. Another good one. Latu, hello. How you doing? Latu? Good to see you. All right. Let's see here. Great. All right. So here's the deal. We are continuing yesterday's session a little bit. We just thought we should dive into a little bit more of a lesson today. Okay. Update and lesson. Okay, there's been some interesting updates, but some lessons as well. As usual, you know me, we can't really do a session here without making sure that we learn something from it. Okay. Otherwise, it should just be another gossipy session, and that's not what we come here to do. All right. Let me see here. It's just so trying to get you. All right. I think we're good. All right. So that's why we're here. But yeah, Lafi Allow MOP. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So shout out to everybody watching in the background. As you're coming in, do me a favor. As usual, please, you know what time it is. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Okay. And over here, basically, we talk about relationships from a power standpoint. We dive into self-power, social, emotional intelligence. We take our time. We don't rush into these things, you know. So that's how we do it, you know. There's more than enough platforms out there that what they do is, you know, entertainment. And the last thing I want to do is spoil your entertainment, okay? But it's much more important to me, okay? It's much more important to me that we learn something as we're getting through this, okay? And that's what we're working on, all right? So with this Banky W story, it's been quite interesting, okay? Hey, Damsel, good to see you. Welcome, right? So it's been quite an interesting story. Rumors. Let's be clear, these are rumors, okay? And there's been some updates today directly from Banky W. Not much, just the devil's a liar, you know. So, but anyway, I just thought I should bring some lessons out of this. So today we'll be talking about the 5 ways that the devil is attacking family and marriage, and why that's actually a bad thing. Okay, that's a bad thing. All right. As usual, I don't like to pedestalize marriage. Okay. Today is going to be very short, sweet, and to the point, by the way. So, but it's gonna be one of the best episodes. Okay, so it's gonna be one of the most useful episodes on this platform. Okay, especially with respect to where social media is right now, right? So social media is a magnifier. Social media does not manufacture humans and human experiences; it magnifies it. Okay, so we can't blame social media for anything, just like we can't blame rain and sunshine. Okay, you can't blame society. If you want to blame society, just blame yourself. That's how it works, right? So yeah, D Love Anna, how you doing? Welcome. Please hit the like button as you're coming in. Patricia, hello. Happy Sunday. So it's more of a laid back Sunday for me personally. So you might notice I'm a little chill, but I'm good. I've rested very well. I've had a good rest this weekend. So I'm in high spirits, and I hope you are as well. All right. So again, we're still talking about this rumors, the speculative rumors that's Banky W's family and marriage, and there's some lessons we can learn from it. Okay, there's always lessons we can learn from it, and that's why we're here today. But before we dive all into that, let me just go ahead and share my screen with you. All right. Let's see what they're saying on Twitter. Let's see what they're saying on Instagram. Okay. And Banky had some updates as well. The wife had an update. We haven't really gotten any kind of update from Niyola. So I don't think she needs to reply anybody. But it's up to her, whatever she wants to do with this clouds that's going on right now. I don't think answering or not is going to hurt her in any way. And also, I don't think this type of clout is going to come with any kind of money for them at all. I don't think so. Okay. If anything, just a little bit of extra, maybe indirectly, a little bit of an extra clout to push everything else they got going on. A significant amount of people are believing that there's probably some truth. I've seen people say where there's smoke, there is fire. There's no smoke without fire, or there's no fire without smoke. How do they say? I've seen people say that. I don't expect otherwise. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so let me share my screen really quickly so we can get into some of this stuff. Let's see. Yeah, so it's quite interesting to see that it's a fake news at this point, right? It's quite interesting to see that a fake news will take over all of Nigerian social media, okay, in the last going on 48 hours now, small by small, right? I think it's interesting. Okay, so let me see here. There's a post. Let me first of all post. Let me see here. So there's been a few clips from Banky W. Let me see here. So he did this today. Let's see.
Deeper and deeper and further into bondage. People say now from clap dance they start. Okay. Samson, we talked about Samson. He went from the wife to the prostitute to Delilah to his death. David went from not going to war to being in the wrong place at the wrong time, seeing something he should have never seen, doing something he should have never done. And from there, he becomes a liar and a murderer. He arranges to kill Bathsheba's husband. That's the sinking phase, where one problem leads to another. And as you sink further and further into it, for many people, it becomes more and more extreme. I told you about the time.
All right, so he's preaching here. He's not really addressing the issue. Somebody said, just in Banky W, shout out to gossipmail.tv. Just in Banky W today, giving powerful sermon on the church pulpit amidst trending infidelity allegations. If you really think somebody is that good, right? That somebody is that good of of a liar, and they'll be able to hold themselves together and come and preach today, right now, after this, if this is actually true, right? Then you have something else coming, okay? That's a struggle, okay? It's literally impossible, okay? It's impossible. Yeah, it's not possible. Ola, you don't know this is what I'm telling you. I know people are evil. I know people can be evil, okay? I know what I'm talking about, okay? But even the worst of them, okay? There's a way that they show in their demeanor, in their countenance, in the way they carry themselves when they respond to this kind of crazy news, that you just be able to tell, especially when it just broke out. I'm not saying 10 days later, I'm not saying 2 weeks later, I'm saying there is no way, knowing how much he cares about its image from what you can see on social media, that he will be able to compose himself today and come and preach like this, knowing that it's being filmed and they will take the clips, right? I don't think so. Correct me when I'm wrong. I can be wrong, okay? All right, let me see here. If not today, say Banky W now. Okay, I cannot bash him or say anything bad because I'm not even any better. All right, so these are people that have made up their mind that people are inherently evil. That's what you're seeing, okay? Then also some people probably didn't know him like that before now. So a lot of people are Gen Zs reacting to this, okay? Or younger than Gen Z. D-Lo says, what a relief. I hope the devil is a liar. Means this is not true. Yeah, it's not true. My opinion is that it's not. My prediction is that it's not true. All right, I don't know for a fact that it's not true. It shows on your face that you well rested. Thank you. I tried. Thank you. Wahala. Yeah. Listen. I don't know. That anything is possible, right? You can't trust humans in general, right? But if you were to use what we know to make a prediction, it is what it is. Shout out to Patricia. Looking at Tonto's post, it looked believable. I seen that post. Natu posted that post in our group earlier. By the way, if you're not part of the group, you can join the group at lolaandlola.com/WhatsApp. lolaandlola.com/WhatsApp, and you can also send a WhatsApp text only to this number on the screen, +1732 305 8577. All right, so I saw the post, okay, and there's no particular merit to it, okay. It's basically a screenshot, okay, apparently from years ago, that says something to the effect of, I guess Banky W has found a wife. Yeah, I think I found it. Let me see here. Copy. Let me show you what Patricia is talking about. This is what Patricia is talking about right here on the screen. Let me see. Can you see? Yeah. So it's a post from Tonto Decay back in 2006 and say, it looks like Banky W has found a wife. See what happened between Banky W and Niyola. I think they will end up getting married. Congrats in advance. With the LOL. Like, how do you end that with LOL? And we're supposed to take that seriously, right? So that link right there, I don't know if that has any credibility to it. Let me see something here. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hold up. I need that sound effect. If you find it, send it to me. Hold up. Shout out to Adesuwa. I'll come to your comments in a second. Let's see what we got here. Nothing, basically. It's a very old post. All right, so it's a picture of them together. Now, Niyola was signed to Banky W's record label. It makes sense that they have tons of pictures together like this, including the picture that's on the picture that I have on the thumbnail. Uh, there's nothing to those pictures. There's nothing you can make out of those pictures, essentially. Okay, including this picture. So that's Niyola on the right hand side. This is, I don't know what part of the world you live in. Okay, but there's nothing you can make out of this picture. In my world, okay, my adult life has been outside of Nigeria. I don't know if in Nigeria, as an adult, that this picture means anything to you, but it doesn't mean anything to me. Just letting you know. Adiola said, but Suleiman and Fato Ibo all still come on pulpits despite allegations, so Banky can't surprise the media for his composure on the pulpit today. So here's what I tell you. Okay, first of all, Suleiman, okay, and Fato Ibo, they've been doing this for years. Remember what I said? Okay, so I'll add this caveat to it, right? If this news broke out yesterday and he came on the pulpit to preach today, and it's not a normal regular preacher. He's been trying to preach and do all kind of preachy stuff, granted, in the past year or two, but it's not your typical everyday preacher. It's not. I think he was ordained a pastor. I'm not sure, but he's not like a official pastor in somebody's church. I think he goes to Waterbrook and he's a minister there now, but there is no way he'll be able to preach today. Just trust me and take it from me. It doesn't mean you trust human beings. It doesn't mean human being can't fall. In particularly, it doesn't mean that Banky W cannot fall. But just stick with me today on these lessons we're about to go through. Okay? Just stick with me today, all right? And then trust me. Let me just take a look at something here. All right, good to go, my guy. All right. So it doesn't mean that. There's context to what I am saying. Okay, shout out to all 29 of you listening to me. Hit the like button as you're coming in. We're missing about 13 likes. If you just hit the like button, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. So it's not just his countenance when he was preaching today. It's not just that. It's everything else that led up to now. Okay. Human beings, we have patterns. Okay, there's some things you can just tell. Okay, it's the reason why we teach what's the word? That's the word I'm looking for right now. It will come back to me later. It's a very important word for today. Okay, that's the word I'm looking for. It just escaped me. But bottom line is that the discernment. Why did discernment disappear from me like that? That's crazy. But yeah, the word I'm looking for is discernment. Okay, discernment doesn't mean you know. In fact, you might be disappointed. Okay, but the reason why we use discernment is because it number one, it aligns with your spirit, but it's not just spirit. It's kind of subconscious in nature, but it's not it's everything else that led us down to here. And yes, you might still be caught with surprise. So keep that in mind, right? But very unlikely. Okay, so not only that, I've been around Banky W a few times. It's just not that guy. It's not Fato Ibo. They play. Fato Ibo and Suleiman, these guys are players. Don't compare that. Banky W is not nowhere like Suleiman and yeah. So it's not about the fact that they're pastors. It's not just that. Listen, I grew up in church. I've been seeing pastor playboys, guy man, like my guys here will say sometimes. I've been seeing them all my life, okay? It's not about the preachy part. In fact, some of the best players in the world, they know Bible back to forth. They can quote multiple scriptures and inspire you. But they're guy mas. They're playboys, you know, and we know them when we see them. Has nothing to do with the fact that they're preaching. It's the preachy part. Okay, today was preaching about porn, right? About he was preaching about the prison of porn, right? Banky W is on a journey that is highly unlikely that is engaged in such lifestyle and is doing that at the same time. It just doesn't align. Okay, and if he's that good at lying to the rest of us, then so be it. It will confirm what we already know about human beings. People are, in your G. So I'm not discounting that at all, that human beings are dangerous. I'm not discounting that. Don't get me wrong. Okay. This is just an opinion and just my prediction that there is no merits to it. Anyway, Banky W body language on the pulpits today shows that he was struggling a lot. Okay. You might just be right. Okay, because I didn't see the full thing. You could be right, but remember, he's an actor, performer. Yes, Toby and Tribe, shout out to you. Absolutely. We don't know. That's the fact, right? That's the fact today. If he's innocent, why is he struggling a lot? What do we mean by struggling? Let me see what you mean by struggling. I think there's another clip somewhere here. Let me see if I can find another clip. Right, shout out to Instablog Nigeria. Let's see what this says.
The devil really didn't want you to hear this message. In fact, he didn't want us to enter this series at all. There was an attack at the beginning, and here we are. But the devil is a liar, and God is in control. And I really think that we weren't, the devil really didn't want us to hear this. First of all, he doesn't want us to be free. The Bible says the thief comes not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. If I don't thank God for anything in my life, I thank God for this woman. Because it's important to have somebody that you can share with.
Hey,
somebody,
Auntie
pick
B.
the right person that you can talk to.
How you doing, Auntie B? I just finished watching your show today.
Can you pray with me? Can you hold me accountable? In the middle of my battles with pornography, when I would need to travel, I would keep this woman on the phone. The devil really didn't want us to hear this message.
Again,
in fact, he didn't want us to enter this series at all.
Is this what you mean by struggle? I don't know. Maybe that's struggle. Maybe you saw the whole message. Maybe you were actually at Waterbrooks today. Right? I don't know. Cheating, the devil's a liar, God is in control. If this story not true, Banky fit go beg him wife for forgiveness. But you see that you weigh him head, be like Danny Table can never. You just cholesterol bullet. I've never seen a couple who were intentional about making their marriage work that failed at it. That's a fact. Because again, if you pay attention to what we're talking about here, right? If you pay attention to what we're talking about here, always, unity is that one ingredient you need. If you're on the same page with your spouse, you can break all the rules. Did you know that? Did you know that that's actually the secret? Right? When I talk about seduction, attraction, right? The idea is to get that person on the same page with you, even if it's an illusion of it. That's how crazy it is, right? As long as it's sustainable over time. The one key ingredient is unity. Nothing else matters. You can break all the rules. I see all the conversations about monogamy, polygamy, cheating, infidelity, do it in the backside. No, do it on one side. No, I will never go in that area. Once you're on the same page, if you can get on the same page with your spouse, if you're on the same page, that's the ingredient. Now, how do you get to the same page? That's where people struggle. Okay? There are two human beings involved, always. Even sometimes they say they're on the same page with their mouth, but the reality is that they're not. So people holding stuff, they're holding issues, resentments, right? And, lies. That's basically telling each other lies. Truth is undefeated, right? Tiroban Lolo Godu, one day it will catch up. But if it's not a lie and you can find your way to unity, it works, And that's what this person is saying. As long as two agree, even if this rumor is true, that's all it takes. We just complicate it. We complicate it because we're complex beings. We're complicated human beings, So I don't hear the struggle. I don't know. Maybe you guys are hearing something I don't hear. I can't hear it in this right here. Bank is okay. So this is a word from somebody from the camp, apparently, allegedly saying, this what's her name? Adesuwa from that camp says it's not true. Again, this doesn't mean anything. This was posted by Ruben Abati. Ruben Abati is a credible journalist from my standpoint. All right, let me see about this. I think this
Find
is
people you
something.
can talk to. If I don't thank God for anything in my life, I thank God for this woman. Because it's important to have somebody that you can share with. Somebody, pick the
He's
right
nervous.
person
Okay.
that you can talk to and say, this is my struggle. Can you pray with me? Can you hold me accountable? In the middle of my battles with pornography, when I would need to travel, I would keep this woman on the phone. I would keep her on the phone for hours because I didn't want to break. I'd be alone in the hotel room and I would be calling her.
Yeah, he used the word hotel. I know they said something about he's been camping people in the hotel, right? Yeah, the story is not believable, right? Like everyone that's been saying online, okay, that everyone that's been talking online that, you never know, this will break my heart. They are all right, oh, all of them. They are right because if it's true, yeah, it will be one of the few, not few, it will be one of the many times that I'm wrong, okay? They will be right.
You're right.
Okay, if it's true, it will be one of the many times, like everyone else, that I'm wrong, and I'll be willing to update you guys when that time comes. Okay. Oh my gosh, he's guilty. Patricia said, "Oh my gosh, he's guilty." I disagree. You want to bet? You want to bet? Where are you? Are you in Nigeria? If you're in Nigeria, we can bet 100 naira. Okay, 100 naira. When the story does come out and it's true, I will send you 100 naira. How's that? Does that work? I mean, you need 1,000 naira. Is that too small? Let's see. We don't know. That's the only fact, right? As this, I'm fine. This matter tire apart and trust Nigerians to judge without any evidence. That's precisely what's going on, and that's fine. We all project, we all generalize, right? Based off of our experiences. We just need to, like, expectations. We all have expectations. You need to manage that because that's going to affect your personal life. The way you view issues in life will affect your personal life. Okay, this is not just cruise. How you see this thing going on right now will affect your personal life. Okay, because it's telling. It's a telltale sign of how you react to issues in life, and you can see based off of the buzz that's going on right now around this story, it's no wonder why people struggle in relationships. Okay, they operate in relationships with fear as opposed to in faith, right? In good faith, right? But just faith, even from a scriptural standpoint, like evidence of things unseen, right? But I understand if you've had certain types of experience that are negative, it's hard. It's a very difficult thing. That's why we talk about healing. You need to be on the other side of you're numb to the pain. It takes time. It's a process, right? It is what it is. Shout out to Isabel. Good to see you, Isabel. I haven't seen you in a while, but welcome. Look at him. He looks like guilt is chewing him up to the point he's desperate to prove that he loves his wife. Does anybody agree with Patricia in the chat? This is interesting. Yes, Banky W did sound nervous in church today and his voice was breaking. Okay, so I know they have probably live stream, right? All right. So this news will make you nervous, but maybe he's guilty. We don't know. Maybe he's guilty, right? We don't know. And to be because he's guilty. Wahala. But Apache, good to see you. How you doing, sir? Happy Sunday. That's him doing damage control. Nah, I don't think so. No. See, I look at it a little bit more than just nervousness of the voice. First of all, consistency in someone's behavior over time. Banky is a lover boy. He was never a player. Okay? Yeah. Banky is not Two-Face. Okay, Banky is not Fato Imbo. Don't get it twisted. It's not about the pastor title. Banky is not Mr. Sule. Okay? It's just not. Okay? Banky W is not that guy. It's not. Okay? But just my observation. I can be wrong. He was nervous because he was talking about addiction to... Thank you, Raheem. Adewale, thank you so much. Do you not realize that this is a big deal for a lot of men? Addiction in general, especially to porn. This thing is actually destroying marriages. Do you not know that? You don't think that's a big deal enough for someone to be nervous when they're talking about it, considering that they're also being dragged, right? Maybe he actually has some skeleton in his closet. It's not Niyola. Okay? Maybe some things he really doesn't want to come out. It's clean, and like he would rather not deal with this kind of lousy attention, right? Maybe he's guilty. He's been camping Niyola allegedly in a hotel somewhere. For last time I checked, Niyola lives in Nigeria. Maybe she moved to United States. I don't know, but maybe. All right. Patricia says she's in Houston. So how much do you want to bet, Patricia? And for how long? If the true news doesn't come out, for how long? How much do you want to bet? So 1,000 naira is probably nothing to you. What do you want to bet? Okay, we're talking in naira though. Why is it difficult to make one or two statements denying it or move on? I wouldn't deny it or move on if I were him. Okay. In fact, the fact that he said hotel is too much. Okay, just the fact that I said I will come and give you the attention that you're looking for. No, you give me all the attention you have since you want to gossip. That would have been my advice to him. Okay, unless there's actual damage to be controlled, then even at that, I wouldn't go and preach today. I will make a public PR statement, professionally written, so that I'll not go rest. Zuka Nukwe. Abi Zuka Nuike. All right, I'm not giving you what is that? What good is that going to do to tell you if it's true or not? Now you tell me. Tell me right now what good is that going to do for me as an individual? Because I come first. Okay, if I forget Adesuwa for a second, I come first, because if I'm not good, Adesuwa is not going to be good. My family is not good. No one else is good. What good does it do for you? The internet monitoring spirits, if I tell you if it's true or not today, like today, now, less than 24 hours later. So let's look at two ways. If I'm actually guilty, what good would that do? If I'm not guilty, tell me what. Remember, we talk about this from power standpoint, right? What good is that going to do? Okay, tell me what wisdom is in that. All right. I mean, if you can identify one, I will acknowledge it. I'm waiting. Okay. Banky is Mr. Capable. Banky is a musician turned pastor. Yes, so Max. Shout out to you, Max. Good to see you. Brother Patrick, you see why we call you elder. Leave Brother Patrick alone, I beg. Let me drop the link because later on I do have the 5 ways the devil is attacking family and marriage. Okay, just gonna drop the link for those who wants to come in and chop it up with me. Okay, let's talk about it. So today, let me show you. Today, like right here. This is what apparently Adesuwa posted. Okay, if you think Adesuwa is this strong, such a strong girl, I'm just gonna be loyal, right? Listen, we've seen people do that, but it takes them time to get to that. It's not gonna be within 24 hours, where they know that their husband is actually wrong, but they're just gonna 10 toes down and support. We've seen that. Not 24 hours later. If you see one, let me know. Okay? Unless the issue has been like that for a while. Okay? She says let me just go to the actual screenshot. Banky W posted Susu of the Most High, Susu Sunshine, why so fine? 3 hours ago. And Adesuwa posted, laugh my ass out. Spin me, baby. It's cause you take such great care of me. You might be wondering, but why would she trust her husband like that? Maybe trust is more of an understatement of what it takes to be in that position with a husband. That you just know that you know. It's not trust. Trust is an understatement. You just know that you know that you know that you know that you know that there's no chances in hell. You don't think that's possible anymore, right? I bet you don't think that's possible anymore. Let me see who they here. Auntie B, Shefe show camera ni. Shefe show Juni. Okay, all right. She says she's good. Let me bring her up to the screen. Auntie B, are you?
I'm already in bed. I'm about to nod off.
Ekbale. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Allah. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm doing well. It's been
How's Lola and the kids?
She's great. She's doing well.
Yeah, Allah. This celebrity thing, Otisumio, I don't know. It's not an easy thing at all, honestly. It's not. It's a lot of I don't know. It seems like you're not living your life for yourself.
Yeah.
People want you to live for them as well. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I went on social media after my show. Come and see comments. And I kept asking myself, how does this affect your life personally? You people that are taking this so personal, like the way they've concluded already, like everybody has concluded that he did it. People said, hey, this is what they do now. He's trying to show love to his wife now so that he will sweeten her up or whatever, butter her up. You need to do so many nasty comments.
Yeah.
And I kept asking myself, how does this affect the price of Gary in the market again? Or how does it affect? I don't understand it. Are we not doing too much?
Fear is a powerful thing, and to be fear is a powerful emotion, motivator, all of that. That's where that's.
But fear of what? Fear of what? What am I afraid of? Even if it turns out to be true that Banky W cheated on his wife or whatever, what are people afraid of?
They're afraid of. So the fear is a lot of people. They like the idea of romance, but they are afraid that it's impossible ever because majority of the viral news tend to be negative. So even when it seems positive or there's a chance it's positive, they don't believe anymore.
So everybody is on social media, right? Look at someone like Brad Patrick now. He was asking in the comment section. I don't know if you saw it. He doesn't even know who these people are.
He doesn't know.
It was like, who is Banky W?
Let me tell you something about where social media and this generation is when it comes to romance. Why are you painting in our face your marriage? Who cares? They tell you these marriage people are arrogant. They think they're the one that knows it all. Have you not seen that before?
I know one shame me.
So a Banky W, this story comes out and ends up not being true. It would discount the possibility that all people are just inherently bad, all men are scum, all women are liars who don't know how to hold themselves accountable. It will basically confirm that.
When these people that are making comments, most of them are from polygamous family. They are from polygamous family. Their father is probably, even the ones that are from monogamous family, their father probably have baby mamas everywhere. They are cheating. I'm not supporting it, but what I'm saying is that I think this generation, they are doing too much. It's just too much. They are out of line. Yep. And the way, I know we generalize, like you said, people project, but it's too much. It's got nothing to do with you. That's why I asked that question, even if it turns out to be true, of which we have zero evidence so far. How does it affect the price of Gary?
Yeah,
That
if
tomorrow
it turns
will
out to be
affect your
true,
life.
it will confirm their bias about romantic relationships and the possibility that it can
Yeah,
be good.
if you want to be biased, be biased. Whatever. That's your cup of tea.
Abi, yeah, because the truth is that these people, if they keep thinking this way about romantic relationship, they will still do kerewa and have babies out of wedlock, and then end up in divorce, end up in child support and custodial courts and all this kind of craziness. So, so there's no way to avoid. They just have to learn this, or over time, they will correct, but there will be casualties.
Please see Adewale's comment in the comment section. I think he was able to really express the way I'm feeling, because this thing is beginning to piss me off now. Like the way I was reading comment, they were so mean. They were so mean.
Yeah.
Like, we are not human. You know what somebody said today before I even went on live? I was having this conversation with someone, and my friend was like, you know what? This is exactly what Jesus saw when that woman was being accused of adultery, and he told them,
Right.
he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all ran away. All of them ran away because you all have skeletons in your bloody cupboards. Stop it.
Yes. So there's generalization, there's projection, right? Which is what Two-Face was doing the other time. And there is just like, I could be alone in this bad behavior boto. Let me, misery loves company. Like everybody else is just like this. And the truth is that it's not true. This is just your experience, or what you consume. Or it could be what you consume. They say faith comes by hearing, right? The same thing with fear.
Is everybody in this world now a celebrity? How many percentage of Nigerians are celebrities? That you will use, the fact that a lot of celebrity marriages are, maybe they are failing or whatever, like Yul Edochie. How many, we have over 200 million people in Nigeria. How many of them are celebrities that you have to base your understanding or whatever you think about relationship based off of these few people?
Yeah. They just.
So you don't have anybody in your real life.
Everywhere.
Like you can think of, okay, my parents were married for over 50 years. That they are my role models. Because of my parents' marriage, I know marriages is possible for you to marry and you'll be happy, or you marry the right person. What is this celebrity that people are just carrying on their head? Everything celebrity, they start making noise that it means I won't believe in love again. Don't believe in love. I beg, go out, enter house.
I was asking my wife earlier. I said, where do we draw the line between good examples and idolizing? Is that the word? Idolizing couples, right? I agree, you should not turn any couple into idols, right? But what about good examples? We all follow good examples, right?
There are good examples on social media. They won't go and follow those ones.
They won't.
There are good examples on social media.
They're not interested.
They will not follow those ones.
They're not. Those people are not trending today as is yesterday for no reason. Like Darukonwo, they didn't even mention their name, and they're trending. Just think about that. That's the biggest part about this conversation, right? Why is it that this couple potentially, right, being in a situation where they're trying to keep their home together in spite of imperfection, why are they trendy for the wrong reasons?
Because people like negative news. That's what people gravitate towards. Gossip. Can't you do this? Everybody. We did a show on when was it, Thursday or was it Friday? I did a show on Friday, and we're talking about what romance, intimacy, and things like that. We didn't. The studio was empty. We didn't see people. It was only women, and the women were very few. We're not up to. I think we're less than 400.
You might even have people come in and say, "Would that help? Not food."
But these are the things that you used to learn to build your own relationship.
They're not interested. They're not.
But because it's scandal now, 2,000 people are watching.
Yes.
This world is twisted, Ola.
Yeah. These are the things. This is default. It's going to always be like this. But if you're listening to us, we're telling you that this is what you need to watch out for. These are probably the reasons why you're struggling in your personal relationships, because there are good examples, but naturally you won't follow those good examples. You follow the scandals, and faith cometh by hearing. Before you know it, that thing you're looking at, that is the worst case scenario, becomes your reality, because that's all you consume. So you might want to push against yourself a little bit when you have the urge. Because me too, I enjoy basketballs. I get entertained by we're doing work, right? But be careful.
Somebody, Toby and Tribe said, somebody like Banky, who people see as a great husband, preacher, the idea of him cheating makes people feel like they've been robbed of what they believed about him. So they don't see people in their life that cheat. It's a Banky W that they don't know. He's the only person that they've seen that is cheating, Abi.
So they depend on his own life. Again, lack of skills, right?
To get their own understanding about relationship.
Yeah, they just believe once these people are perfect, it increases my chances of being perfect, right? If they can't make it, there's a good chance
then you can't make it.
Imagine if Banky W is doing the same thing.
They have a long way to go, honestly. Right? Gen Z, continue.
Right?
Continue. You find yourself in
we entered in 2020 during the COVID, towards the end of it, I think. We entered Clubhouse. My wife and I said, let's help some people. Let's start rooms. Let's start having conversation. We can help a few people here and there. Did you know that there are people that will say, they just have little slight ways of saying things like this ones. Don't trust anybody. Right? Now, on the surface, that statement is correct. We really shouldn't trust anybody. But let's dig deeper. Where is that coming from? Where is that type of mind coming from? To, instead of saying, these are good examples, let me see as much as I can learn from it. Why is it that your mind didn't go there first? Why is it your mind go where it's possible that these ones are lying, kissy on the internet? They are probably just liars. What is it about you that goes in that direction faster than positive? Like, this could be good examples. Like, even if they're not perfect, I could learn one or two things from them. What is it about you that interprets these issues that way? These are the issues.
That's why people cannot live they cannot be authentic. This is why people cannot be authentic. They have to always fake things, because you guys don't want them to be real. Because you are living your life through them for whatever reason. I don't know. You don't know these people.
We can celebrate.
And another thing is that people fail to realize that they are humans. They are people, they are just people who happen to be famous.
That's it. Just people.
What's different about them?
And yes, they can fail. And yes, Banky W can smash a homie on the side by mistake. Yes. Okay. What does it have to do with you and you learning how to increase your own chances of romance? Because you will do it anyway. You will do Kerewa people. It doesn't matter if you don't believe or not. You will do it, right? What is stopping you from saying, let me learn as much as possible in increasing my chances in doing this as good as it can get, to have overall, not perfect, overall, a good romantic experience in this life? What is stopping you? It's yourself. It's not Banky.
Somebody is on the internet now trolling Banky, dragging him. Meanwhile, ordinary boyfriend self you never get, and you are there cussing them out.
Yeah.
You know it's so bad that Nigerians generally have no boundaries before.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to turn off her comment section, because people will be coming for her again, dragging her.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Being a celebrity is hard, though. I don't know. I don't like it. It's hard.
To whom much is given in general. So you mentioned a particular one right now, which is celebrity, right? Being a celebrity. But to whom much is given, much is expected. And to be, you have a huge platform.
I don't want to be a celebrity, Biko. I don't want. I don't like it.
You collect small sometimes.
I don't want. It's scary. It's scary because you can't be human. The day you make a mistake, they will drag you like a generator.
I'm not saying we're monitoring spirit. Every move.
I didn't know this thing is like this, so I would not have entered or long.
If your purpose is bigger, it's not an issue. You won't God will not put you in a position more than you can bear. That's how the Bible said something like that to that
But
effect,
in that
right?
same country that they are in Nigeria, haven't they seen bigger pastors that so Ingila cheated on he and his wife, they were busy having an open relationship.
Igila Bororo, fine boy. Yellow, the real yellow papa.
He and his wife were busy having an open relationship.
Oh, Lord.
You didn't see him to use him as role model. He was saying that his wife,
Yeah.
the wife cheated, he forgave. He cheated, the wife didn't forgive. He didn't only cheat, they had a baby from his cheating.
I remember that
His
story.
church is still full to today. So I mean, I don't
Because
understand.
people don't care at the end of the day. They don't care. Again, but these are real issues. Because it's sensational. They rather follow him, right? They rather follow him than follow real life examples. Yes, with the chances that your real life examples can fail and fall tomorrow. Yes. Okay.
Why can't you just focus on your own marriage or your own life? I like what Magas is saying. People have brought into it's fantasy. The
marriage
fantasy.
opposed to trying to have a real relationship. Yeah, relationship is a dance. You will step on each other's toes sometimes. Sometimes, right? Oh no, let's just look for a situation where we don't step on. That's what you're seeing being projected right now. That's what you're seeing right now, right? Oh, what? No, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong for reacting. They love them as a couple and they don't want anything to tamper with that. But we're saying that the fact that this will go this viral is a telltale sign of a lot of issues with the modern day relationships.
Patricia said that I have fans too, to the point that they thought I was that preacher side chick.
Which
they
preacher?
had my picture. Oriwolo Daru.
Oh, picture. I
Gbadu.
remember something like that. Somebody put a picture next to you with what was that?
It's some Okoso's case that they were pushing my picture up and down now.
During the viral.
They were calling me African doll. They put my picture everywhere.
Yeah, I know. And they will push it like it's truth.
Exactly.
I remember that. Yeah.
I had to put a disclaimer on my Instagram because my picture, even Daddy Freeze used my picture on his video.
Really?
Yes.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's where, because some people just sit on their phone like this, they are swiping all day, they don't really know these characters, but they are consuming all of this content, and they just see that, did you hear, and then you're creating multiple versions of the story as you go, right? So it's a dangerous thing. But again, to whom much is given and to be much is expected. It's your responsibility to manage the attention you get. If you are getting clout, you do. That's what Patricia is saying, right? You do. At least anytime you go live, at least a minimum of 100, 200, 300, on an average 500, 600. That's a lot of people want to be. But God will not put you in a position where you can't handle it if it turns out to be a crisis.
Wow.
That's why I don't agree that Banky was exactly nervous. Maybe he's nervous because he's not a normal regular preacher.
I mean, to be honest, I did agree with Patricia that he sounded nervous. His voice was shaking.
Yeah.
But I can imagine what this means for them to handle.
He doesn't want to say. He probably didn't want to say anything that they will misconstrue again and will turn out to something he has to manage later.
And another thing is that when scandals happen to celebrities, they usually don't know how to handle it. They are confused. Should I say something? Should I be quiet? Remember when Samuel Kweso's own happened? He called into my show, which in hindsight is something that he shouldn't have done.
Terrible mistake. Yeah.
It's not something that you're confused. You don't know what to do. Should I say something?
Yeah.
Now people are saying Banky should have said something today.
Yeah, somebody said on your show earlier, was it a Lily? Something like that. Somebody was like, that person, is it Lily? I'm not sure. Person was like, just tell her, don't stop playing games. Tell her, did you do it or not?
I had to tell her off. I did.
I remember. I just finished watching it. Like, what do you get if I tell you if it's truth or not? You already believe what you want to believe.
Exactly.
Okay.
No,
right?
I think sometimes when they come to channels like YouTube channels, like platforms, they want confirmation.
Yes.
And some people actually expect you to start blasting Banky W. Now,
take a side. Take a side.
How dare you cheat on Adesuwa? How do I know that you cheated on Adesuwa?
I see you. I'll come to you soon. Yeah.
I don't know how I can justify that kind of behavior. And I know some Mumu people will still do that. They will go after him and start cussing him out.
Yeah, take your
But
side.
what evidence have you seen?
No, it doesn't matter. I want to know where your stand is.
What stand? I don't have any stand. It's not my life. Has he done it? It's an allegation.
I'm on the fence. I don't have a stand, okay? All right.
No, because I haven't seen anything. No, Ola, this one is different from Yole Doche's own. Yole Doche came and told us his own with his mouth.
I love his son now. That's why. He was vomiting everywhere with his own mouth. He brought the whole thing out because he was trying to be ahead of Gistlover. You never have to compete with Gistlover if you're a celebrity. Ever. You can't compete anyway. You will fail. Because media is nobody's mate. Atibi Salo. Maybe by mistake, she'll probably come back in. Anyway, let me bring Adewale. Adewale, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
How you been? You good?
I'm good. I just saw how the whole story unraveled, and I'm just like, you must be kidding me. This can't even happen, because everyone was saying, oh, Banky W cheated, and then they said Gistlover said this and that. Then I read the story. I didn't see Banky.
He didn't mention the name at all, right?
I didn't see any name. I didn't get the connection. I've always maintained that Gistlover of a person, that person is a very, very dangerous person.
Right.
And I think if Nigeria was some kind of developed place, he would have been sued for something.
Yeah.
Because he just runs any narrative and everyone just believes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if look how Nigerians on social media, some people open Twitter spaces, they already believe that the story was true. They were bashing Banky W, they were bashing Niyola or whatever her name is.
Niyola collect gentle for.
She's so gentle.
Go collect tire.
They were bashing Adesuwa, saying that why would she stay? She should leave. She's this.
Can you imagine?
You already assume that the story is true.
Yeah.
And then when someone tells you, no, this is not true, you not say allegedly. Allegedly, you guys already in your mind.
If you don't have a platform like us, you don't have to say allegedly. You're
already saying it's already true. You guys already saying it's already true, and everyone is bashing these people. I'm like, they're not some robot or something. These are human beings.
I don't think Nigerians care.
They're gonna have to manage this. This is crisis for them, either they like it or not. For Banky W and the wife, they're gonna have to manage it somehow.
That Gistlover person, that person has too much power, and I don't like it because
yes, it's true.
That person can literally destroy a family.
But he or she or them did not mention name.
It doesn't matter, Ola.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. With the description, you don't need rocket science to know who he was talking about. It was too vivid.
It was too specific. Like there are no other celebrity that Nigerians could point out to. This just it fitted Banky W's profile.
Now we have inside story to something else. My wife and I, and my wife once she saw the story first, as soon as it came out yesterday morning or so. My mom was like, my mom mentioned that person's name, somebody that we actually know, mutual friends, that has been linked. And she mentioned that, and she thought about this, she thought about Banky instantly because of that. Not because of Niyola, because of another person entirely. So if there's room for even a discrepancy in the Niyola part of the characters, right? How would you hold a Gistlover accountable? I'm listening.
One day be one day. Mokin go market, no go come back.
Otoro
cannot hide forever.
But in this one in particular, right? We have to hold ourselves responsible for how we consume media, don't you think?
Yes, I know.
Why do you think that over and over, when the page is lost, that Facebook or whatever they call them, Meta would collect the page? It grows so quickly.
I know. But there's about
Do you know how many
there's
pages?
there's about 1,000 different pages of this love.
Exactly. Why do you think about it? Why?
The person
Because they
also
always
actually
want
had
to hear all these gossip
bad
stories.
So you're agreeing with me that it's the people that's giving that brand power.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, Nigerians, a lot of them don't have jobs. They're frustrated with their lives, so they just go on social media to find a sad story that can make them feel better about their own situation. Or
See,
make them
that's
feel,
a good point. Yes.
Or make them feel like, oh, it's not just me. If I'm going through this sad story, this sad thing happening in my life, I'm not a celebrity. If a celebrity is also doing that same thing, I mean, we're on the same level anyways. Like everyone wants the story to be true, and I'm like,
they want it to be true so badly.
That's what that was my intention of what I just said, which is people need to hold themselves. Listen, let's for a fact. A gist lover as a platform cannot last forever. There's no such thing. No platform lasts forever. Especially it's very controversial and it's very on
They
the
had
edge.
1 million followers. The page was taken down. Now it doesn't have up to 200,000 anymore.
Yeah, eventually they will always get shut down. Eventually it will get tiring.
Actually, now the person has a Telegram group.
The Telegram group but Telegram is shutting people down too. Telegram is shutting people down too. Yeah, once a platform becomes big enough, they have vested interest to protect themselves, and if you are a faceless person, eventually you get blocked. That's why I keep telling men that run their mouth anyhow on the internet. You get blocked. You continue to get shut down.
I just don't like that he has too much power. He can just destroy, like, because there are certain stories that shouldn't just go out there to the public that needs to be handled with so much care, and the person doesn't even care or anything. He just throw out stories that can destroy people's lives. Right. I don't like that. I don't at all, because I read the so-called Instagram story he wrote. There was no mention of Banky. There was no mention
of names, but he or she or them knew exactly what they were doing.
Of course,
right? And to your point, Adewale, to your point, right? Some people say, "Oh, I can cover my face and talk anyhow on the internet. I can, if you do damages long enough, they will find you and you'll be put away for a long time."
It's because it's Nigeria. If it was there abroad, it's very easy to find who that person is.
Easily.
Very, very easy. It's because it's Nigeria. So there are no laws, no rules.
And the power does get to them. Like the fact that you can just control narrative for a few days. The power does get to them. Eventually, that pride will eventually to catch up. Yeah.
I just don't like it because even if the story is true, let's say it's true, the so-called side hand, whoever it might not even be Niyola.
Right. I don't know. I think people link Niyola because she was the one on the label. She was the only girl on the label. Yeah.
And it wasn't just Niyola that was signed to like the guy's label at the time. There were other ladies there.
Oh, there were, but not. They didn't put their face on though. She was the face of the label as a girl.
I know, but like I'm just saying, it might just be someone else. How would you just drag someone like from nowhere? I was just so like sad and annoyed at the same time. People were screaming on top of their voices saying, "Hey, Adesuwa must not leave. Protect your home." Another one is, "Hey, Adesuwa must leave."
Some will say leave. Some will say you don't leave. Don't leave. Who ask you?
Some will say, "Oh, I feel Banky W. He's always been a bad boy since they were talking like they were like they're members of his family."
They won't go and mind their NEPA issues and leave people alone.
When you click on their profile, they have nothing going on in their lives.
Yeah, they can't even show their face. Yeah,
it's just so sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, this is again one of the examples of where we are as a society, and we should start paying attention. If you care for this is linked to relationships, because if this wasn't about somebody being cheated on or possible infidelity, this story will not have angle to it, But thank you so much, Adewale. You were saying something?
I'm just very scared of social media nowadays because
you are.
I am.
There's nothing to be scared of. But I understand you. Most people can't handle it. Most people will not be able to handle this type of
It's just
this type
too
of
toxic.
pressure.
It's just everything. I just watch because it's just when you see things happen to people, and you're like,
Yeah.
everyone just forgets that these celebrities are human beings, and I don't
Yeah.
also get the reason why you're trying to live through other people. I don't get that part.
Yeah. So that the leaving. I wish Atibi didn't leave on a good night. My time. Sorry, Atibi. Thank you so much. But she can hear this part. Hopefully, my thing with we all learn from examples more than we learn from what we read in books or lectures. Okay, we all do. Okay, so it's the same situation with parenting, right? If you're just lecturing your kids and your lifestyles shows differently, they are learning more from your actions, right? So there is a space for a need for good examples, right? But there's a fine line between good examples and turning them to idols, right? Or expecting them to be perfect. Right? Expecting them to have no flaws.
No flaws.
And that line is too blurry, and I think that's why people are pushing against the idea of PDAs, public display of affection. They are lying, right? They just don't believe it. But when you find yourself not believing that, quicker than you will say, hey, let's celebrate that, right? It's something that has to do with you, not necessarily because no one is claiming they are perfect. It's you you have that expectation that they are perfect, But thank you so much, Adewale. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bro. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Brother Patrick, sir.
Hey, Yola.
How are you, sir?
Do
you know who Banky is now?
I even know him.
You didn't know Banky for real before? Banky W?
No, I don't know him.
Did you know Wizkid, at least?
Those guys play. I know Whiskey is a musician.
So Banky W is one of the main guys responsible for the blessings of Wizkid's talent today. He was an artist himself, and he also signed Wizkid early on in his career.
I don't really know. You know what? My conclusion is that the young ones these days, the pastors and the young ones, the kind of anointing they have Samson anointing. They don't have Joseph anointing. Samson, despite the call of God upon him, he's still screwed up.
Yes.
Even when he was in Delilah's house, the power of God was still in him, was still on him.
Yes, because anointing has nothing to do with perfection.
You see how many Philistines he was able to even destroy, even when they cut off his hair.
Yeah.
So, like most of the Christians of these days, they have Samson's anointing. They can go to the pulpit and see all kind of, but then, unlike Joseph, the Bible says Joseph flee and left his room with Potiphar's wife. So,
because he wasn't trying to count on his own righteousness, like many of these religious people.
About marriage, you can't be outside the fence. You know what I mean? Must be in. Most people commenting probably, they are young kids that are outside the fence.
Yeah.
They've not really experienced, what marriage is. And
Benny, or they've had bad experiences.
Yeah, they've had bad experiences.
Yes.
I've been for the past 2 weeks I've been attending wonderful wedding. The one we attended yesterday was by my friend's daughter and the boy. They are both doctors, medical doctors. So if people begin to use celebrities as their role model, they are missing it. Yeah. Yes, they are missing it. Like Auntie B said that they should be shocked by. They should mind their own.
Mind your own.
People can just go and begin to write because they have enough time to do that, right? Yeah. I wouldn't blame them for that. They are not busy. You know what I mean?
People have time. They have time, And also people create time for nonsense, especially if it's pain. It's internal pain that they're going through, and misery loves company. They're looking for something to align with their bias. They will create time for it.
Imagine going to somebody's DM. What kind of
To drag them in their
wow, people are so funny. They so have that time.
I think I don't know if you were previewed to Tony's story, Tony Dr. T last week. I think she's handling it well. They tried to, all the GLB gang tried to drag her.
Is it okay? The lady that was
The Dr. T from Houston, yeah. They try to drag them, but there's no substance to that story, obviously. The story is true on surface, and say, okay, two divorced people
How about
married.
this lady
What else?
The lady that came out about the man that moved to Canada. Are you going to follow it up?
The one that moved to Canada.
Yeah, the lady that came out that the husband should leave. I know, that lady that came out. That when I contributed.
Yes, yeah, the one I was supposed to do yesterday or 2 days ago, right?
I don't know that it goes to
no.
Church.
Adesuwa. Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah, I haven't seen any updates. If I see update, I will definitely update it.
Okay, so
yeah, I haven't seen.
And even people say they bring themselves outside. Must bring everything outside. What will social media do with your marriage? Are they going to solve it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Social media is part of life. It's like the weather, sir. So we can't avoid it, but we need to learn how to manage the impact of it on our lives, right? We're all on social media for one reason. At least you're on LinkedIn, if you're not on Instagram, right? So it's you're on WhatsApp. We're all exposed, sir.
But then there's a limitation.
Yeah, that's the managing it part, right? You have to manage how you consume content from social media.
You don't just throw your family out there and begin to talk about them and why should you do that?
Yeah. And so there's that like this one in particular right now is how they respond. If somebody decides to put your story out there to make it sensational and drag your family in the mud, how do you respond to that in a way that doesn't create more damages? There's that one. There's also the one you're talking about, which is don't put yourself out there. Especially when you're upset. There's a space for what Auntie B does, which is we share stories that can help other people. But you want to make sure that you're on a journey of healing, proper healing before you engage such. Because inside of the same chat, people will use your case as their opportunity to give their opinions, and you might not like everything you see. And you might overreact. So, but we're here on social media right now. It's just a necessary part of life, but we need to definitely learn how to manage the impact on our lives. And the same is even more so true for celebrities, because we're all their monitoring spirit.
Yeah, I know. And if you are a celebrity, you should have professional that will help you to deal with that.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not everything. Is it everything that the president come out to begin to? Yes, people that are there, the press secretary and everything.
Yes.
There are some that are just trash. That people will lie to just get audience.
Just to get clicks.
Yes, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yes. Yeah.
People are going to stab you in the back. That one is for sure.
Yes.
So I'm not going to worry about that, especially when your mind is clean. It's clean.
Yes. If your mind is clean, you definitely don't need to respond. At least not in the way that people say, tell us if it's true or not. No, I don't have to tell you jack, by the way. And then if it's true, especially if it's true, don't run out there and try to control the narrative. It's a backfire. It will work against you. Don't say it is true. Don't say it is not true. There's ways that this. I know I'm spoiling entertainment for people, but it's okay. You'll find entertainment other places, but there are ways that has to be. There are things that will happen that you just telling the truth is just not good enough, because people already made up their mind and they will find a way to twist your words against you for their own benefit if they have to. Because remember, it's all entertainment, it's all cruise for or at least something that suits other people's selfish reasons. It's never really about you. They don't care that you're exonerated. They could care less. So it's not worth it.
There's even a situation that we might not even owe anybody an apology.
Yeah.
Yes, and there isn't time for you to talk.
Yes.
There are times when the thing will have died down. You might be faced with maybe you have an interview and just yes, like somebody called me last week. She wrote a book and a large organization invited her to summarize.
Benny, it's true. That's what we talk about here. That's why I had power to it. It's not good enough that you're honest. You could just collect.
No,
Max.
One of the things she wrote in the paper has to do with her life. So they gave her 45 minutes. I just said you should just summarize everything. Don't give yourself out there.
Yes.
Anybody that anybody that has personal counseling, let them come to you.
Yeah.
Don't elaborate about their own personal life. You can refer them to the pages that we should wrote something.
Yeah.
We just go to page so and so.
Yes.
About this, they can go there and read. And people want to buy the book.
Yeah.
Because social media will twist it by the time you say something.
We go through that here. We learned that a long time ago when my wife and I were writing the book. This book is our story. But we took our time on it. There's some things that we shared just enough that people can reflect, see themselves in the picture, and they can say, this is story. But there's just some things that, listen, I gotta protect my family. I gotta protect me, my wife, my family. That it's not just because you deliberately want to hurt me, but it's not. You can't put everything out there. It's just not healthy. Right?
I know, by God's grace, I'm a professional in my field. Even when they teach you something in school, when you start working, you just apply little. It's gonna be a different environment.
It's gonna be a different experience. Exactly. Exactly.
It's gonna be different. You might even find out that your degree you are even using half of it at work.
Yes, because you have to respond to real time as issues come up.
Yes. So some people like ATB said that some people that just stay on the social media bashing people, they have not talked about to get a boyfriend or get
put yourself out there. That's what I meant by fear. That's one of the things I meant by fear when she asked me earlier. Fear. Instead of you looking for perfect people so that you can make sure everything aligns before you get out there, you need to put yourself out there because your experience is going to be your best teacher at the end of the day.
Yes, people don't understand. Everything has phases in life. You can't jump this thing. You can't jump it.
Yeah.
You have to.
True.
Yes, you have to move from one place to another.
Yeah.
People don't want to get it.
Yes, so true, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so the link is pinned to the top. I do have another few minutes. I'm going to go through the lessons, the 5 ways the devil is attacking family and marriage. I'm going to go through them right now. But before I do that, really quickly, it's the same thing with not needing closure when you know what the truth is. Thank you, Max. It's like you've been here. I haven't seen your name here before. Right? Yes, I've been saying this for years. Oh, you need closure. You need closure. Says woo. Emarora mafagbu. Says woo. It depends on what you mean by closure. If your closure depends on other humans' actions, you will be there for a long time. You might never get such closure. What if the person you are asking closure for passes away or they get hit by a bus? So you won't be okay ever again. Anything you call closure, if it's not centered around you inside, yes, can be influenced by people around you. If they have to be in your world, yes. But it needs, the center of it needs to be inside. It needs to be the work you do on yourself. If you're depending on other human beings or the public to give you closure, right? You might just be waiting for a long time. So let's make sure you understand what closure is before you start asking for closures from other human beings. They just might not be capable of giving you that, It just depends anyway. It gets down to semantics, and people get lost in textbook stuff, and your experience is going to be your best teacher. Simi Sola, good to see you. She says, I really do not like when people say your situation is even better. It is horrible when one feels better because another person's misfortune is worse than theirs. Yeah, that sounds weird already. People are so eager to feast on bad news on the internet. I know. So it becomes victim Olympics. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, like my own is worse than yours. It's called Misery Loves Company. Yeah. Yeah, and it's even worse than we can even imagine because it's subconscious. A lot of time it's subconscious, you know. I used to be Money and Wealth Conversation, and Mags is short for Margaret. Oh, okay. I think I've seen that. You're right. Yeah. Closure is moving on. I like that better than counting on other people to give you closure. Hey, Tima, good to see you. She says, if you ever deal with Mongo Park, closure is something you will learn to not seek. You're your own closure, and whatever what you make it out. Yes. I couldn't have said that better. I couldn't have said that any better. Yeah. So one thing I always also say is, you know, you have the power to assign interpretations to the events of your life. Yeah, you have that power, but that's also going to be a function of the kind of information you'll be consuming. If shout out to G Slava for what she does, or he or him or them does, right? I don't think it will last a lifetime. Somebody mentioned Leader AKG earlier. Yes, nothing lasts forever. So they're there because pride is a bastard, and it creeps on everybody, even when you think you're perfect. Even when you don't see it coming, pride, ego creeps in on everybody. When you think, I'm invincible, that's precisely where pride comes from, right? But yeah, if that's the kind of content you consume that becomes the truth of your life, you owe it to yourself to manage that. You can't blame media. You can't blame the internet. That's not a person. We create it. It's literally user-generated content. You can't sue Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. You can't. You can, but it's not an easy battle. Okay? It's not. Listen, they have a whole litigation department, legal departments. They would destroy you before you land, for the most part. Okay? So you need to manage what you consume. Okay? Ask yourself, what you're consuming, does it create fear? Or does it give you hope? Somebody said, who needs hope? We need reality. We need to be real with ourselves. Are you sure? You have no idea what you're asking for when you're asking for reality. Do you really want to know everything that affects our world? When they say you fight not the flesh, you think it's a joke? Do you really want to know? You will not enjoy your life, I promise you, for the rest of your life, if you really know what's going on in human experience and what drives human experience. You will know that you need hope. Okay? Remember what happened the first day that Tinubu came into office. What happened instantly? Because he ran his mouth way too fast about oil subsidy. You really want to know? By the way, he didn't create that. It was already there. He just said it. Right? You really want to know everything that's going on? Are you sure? Before you enter marriage. Because you will still do kerewa. I told you. You will do it anyway. Okay? But anyway, I have Tima. Hey, Tima, how you doing?
I'm good, man of prestige. How are you?
I'm great. How you been? You good?
I'm good. Just been busy.
Good. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Same to you. I don't know where you are on this topic because I'm just joining in right now.
Okay. Why don't you do this with me? We're gonna go through the 5 ways the devil is attacking family. You give me your thoughts, I'll give my thoughts, and we'll do it that way.
Okay.
We'll round up that way. Okay. All right. So the first one, let me just put a clear demarcation here, and we will be right back with the 5 ways the devil is attacking family and marriage. All right, the 5 ways. All right, personal mindset. What are your thoughts around this? The personal mindset. Okay. Let me add a little context for you before you go. The devil is actually, for the most part, it's actually your personal mindset. Go ahead. What are your thoughts around this? How is the devil using this to destroy family and marriage?
Oh, personal mindset.
Like
So,
people's personal mindset.
oh, that one is like for me. It's gonna have to do with the ability to be able to take responsibility. I don't, it's like whatever it is that you said to yourself is gonna come through. Really, like how you handle your situations and not having to blame any factors other than yourself for you to be able to see what role do you play in the success of whatever you are doing or the downfall of whatever come out of it. Because
Right.
that way your mindset is very powerful, because what you tell yourself in most cases what you exhibit or you put out. You know what I mean? So the responsibility of that is for you to have to be able to claim the success of your action or the failure that might come from that.
Absolutely. So especially Nigerians or people from our type of backgrounds, whenever we say
Yes.
the devil, we're thinking about an actual being living
Like,
on a
yeah.
planet somewhere
Yes, yes.
that you can
That is
point
coming.
fingers at.
Yeah, let me point to, because it's very easy.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the religion world, is either God or devil. It's never somebody else. It's
Yes.
never you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Even God is a human being who lives on the planet somewhere.
I know, right? It's
You
funny.
can hear it in how they talk. You can almost hear it in the way they talk. When we're talking about the devil here, let's first of all start. Number one, your personal mindset is probably the biggest. Listen, things can happen around you that can attack your marriage and family. It could be in-law, cousin, blah blah blah, a side chick. But a major part of it is going to be your mindset, because even when these things happen, your mindset is what dictates how you respond to it, which is the only thing
Yeah,
you
you
can
are the
control.
common denominator. Whatever it is, you will be the common denominator, how you handle it. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Patricia, I see you. I'll come to you. Let me just finish this segment really quickly. Higher belief in negativity, right? This is either belief or more so gravitation towards negativity. Because, I can hear somebody right now already saying, you know what, I don't believe in negativity. Well, it's more so gravitation. I'm actually going to correct that right now. Towards negativity, negative news. Our mind naturally assume worst case scenario. What are your thoughts around this, and how is this attacking family and marriage today?
The negativity, you mean?
Yes, the fact that we gravitate towards negativity more. Like,
You
it's
know, I
actually
think,
work for us to do positivity. It's actually work. It's work on the brain.
right. You know, like, we like to feel like when we are experiencing situation, we like to feel like, you are not alone. And in some kind of weird way, like if you see somebody who is having it worse than you kind of feel like,
You feel
okay.
better.
You're right, like kind of make you, it's so weird, but it kind of make you feel like, well, and it's not that bad. But the thing
Yes.
is, whatever it is, yours is personal to you, the other person is personal to them.
It's all you.
Everything you're gonna feel what you're gonna feel. It doesn't matter whether it's small or big, and everybody has limits. That's what I mean.
Stay closer to your mic, because I lost you there a little bit. Can you still hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can
Yes.
hear you
Yes.
clearly. So
Yeah.
we all have our limits, right? So when you're talking about negativity,
Oh, you're fading all the way to the back. You're fading all the way to the back.
hold on, let me adjust my mic. Hold on.
Yeah. It's probably the Bluetooth acting up though. If you have Bluetooth on. Yeah, while she's fixing that, the higher belief is more so a belief system that I'm talking about, not your action as belief, right? we're talking about the belief as a noun, your belief system. Your belief system is controlled by the kind of content you consume, okay, on a regular basis, not a one time. I'm not talking about you catch a little cruise, you enjoy entertainment small, somebody's dragging that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on a consistent basis. You notice that this thing is giving you short-term healing, short-term, like soothe the healing of your wound small, and then you go back into your real world, the problem's still there, right? But you keep coming back to this content creator because they say all the things you like, right? And it's just temporary. At the end of the day, it makes you feel better for the moment. Like she was saying, it makes you feel like I feel a little bit better small, but it's not good enough to help in your relationship. You always find yourself having to come back. Go ahead.
Right. Can you hear me now? So
yes, better.
it's like when like when you are, so if you are experiencing something and there's somebody that's speaking life into that your experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you are not careful, the kind of message, because some people who live in toxicity, they have their own people that speak into their existence, even though they are living in toxicity, right?
Yeah.
And then people who are victim of the people of toxicity, they have their own people that speak into their own existence of the experience of what they are feeling, right? So the difference between these two people is one is very self-aware, okay?
Yeah.
And and that person is able to pick whatever it is that he needs to fix, whatever needs to be fixed in him or herself. Now, Andrew Tate have his people that is speaking positivity to. I mean, like he's speaking life into their existence.
He's speaking life into what's going on with them. Yes.
And
so those people will argue. They will argue up and down with you that you don't know what you're talking about because obviously he's helping them somehow.
Yeah, it's helping them in some kind of way. So the best form
it's
of
weird. A person that disagree with that, I would say, a person that disagree with like, what do you mean he's helping them? Well, it's not. Remember, we're not talking about your experience. We're talking about the experience of the people consuming this content. There's something that's soothing for them.
Something in there that's making them feel, because now their experience is being validated. Like when I'm not crazy. Okay, like so this is what I'm feeling. And it's very powerful. It's as powerful as it is like, when somebody's speaking positive to your life. It's the same, it carries the same weight. The same weight. So we have to be very careful. Yes, what we are consuming, but especially though, like internet is there for everybody. Whatever it is that you relate to that. But there's nothing better than if you having issue with yourself or some kind of way, that situation that you cannot get into, have one-on-one with a professional person, whether it's a life coach, I said that all the time, whether it's a therapist. The internet is just a supplement. It cannot be your main thing. It's a supplement to, and then you'll be able to pick what is it that is
pick
good
and choose what's good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And the way you're able to tell what's good for you is that the impact this person leaves on you transcends beyond just the moment. If for some reason that platform shuts down and they don't come back, you will never forget the impact that what you learn from them is helping you on a daily basis, ongoing, right? As opposed to you have to keep coming back and feeding negativity. You have to keep coming back and feeding it, which is why it's huge on the internet, because you have to keep coming back and feeding it. Positivity, it takes a concentrated amount of audience to help it grow. It takes a while for platforms with positivity to grow because it's going to take a certain level of glue, and people generally don't, once they are good, once they are healed, they don't need to keep coming back. They may need to feed themselves from time to time, and they should be feeding themselves from time to time because there's no vacuum. Negativity is always looking for a way to come into you, right? There's no scarcity of it. It's always many of it. Like Simisola is just saying here, there's so much negativity these days though. You almost cannot escape it. Let me be fully transparent with you. I'm going to share this screen with you. This is my homepage for Men of Prestige. Whenever I log into YouTube, this is what I see. Okay? I'm going to show you, what you consume is what the algorithms feed you. Okay? Can we be clear about that? First of all, you are absolutely responsible for the kind of content you're seeing. Okay, so now I even here on this platform, if I disappear for a few days right now, whenever I try to do a show, the algorithms won't push the show to you because you haven't stayed away from the internet. On an average, you've been consuming other things, and the internet will keep showing you more of those other things because I disappear for a few days. That's just how it works, and that's something that content creators understand. Your numbers will have to climb back up again, but because of your loyal people that watches you, they will help you get it back up again. If you look at this screen right now, mine is showing up because we're live right now. You can see this right here. This right here, Aunt T, the red pill stuff, right? Because they're talking about relationship and they're feeding our children. So I need to know what the hell they're talking about. I have to be careful what they're saying because a lot of what they're saying has truth laced all over it. So if you're not careful, you internalize stuff that's not going to work. But I've been around this long enough that I can manage it. Most people should absolutely watch what kind of content they can from extreme ideologies, right? Look at this millionaire. I think is a clown for the most part, Anton Daniels, but he's teaching young men or whatever he thinks is teaching them. He's a guy who's been married for almost 20 years, and he's feeding them red pill stuff in weird ways. Or from what I can see, he cares about shock jock and just looking to build his platform. Anything that will sound fiery, that's what he's doing. But it's showing here, I want you to be clear about something. What I'm saying is that it's showing here because I do watch a decent amount of his content. If I stop watching it, it's only a matter of time before YouTube will stop showing it here because YouTube does not get anything from showing me stuff I don't watch.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Auntie B, of course, my Auntie B is here because I watch her, right? On the block with Jen, I do stumble into her platform sometimes too. LTTV, I have consumed this content. These are content you consume, okay? If it's so bad that you've watched them so long, it's taking you too long because it's going to take a while before, if you don't really like it, and it's taking too long before they disappear from your homepage, create a new account. Because YouTube does not care about your feelings. If they feel like you're consuming it over and over, they don't really care about all the moral stuff, its negativity. As long as it doesn't break the rules or their guidelines, they will keep showing it to you. So
something else that usually come like, sometimes the YouTube will suggest you like, oh, so person watch this thing too. Like they are recommending what whoever in your contact watching.
Yes.
Like, oh, right? Like
that's also part of it. Yeah.
What is my business with that? Like, why are you showing me?
Yeah. So if you watch me a lot, right?
Yeah.
If you watch me a lot, and about half of our 43 people watching us right now, if half of them are watching something else, YouTube will test you. See, you might like this too, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But they are right, and rightfully so, because if you love this content, there's a good chance you will like the other one. Okay.
Other ones,
if everybody else like toxic stuff here, there's a good chance you're toxic. Because interest is not anybody's mate. You're showing interest in certain things, but they will test it. If you watch it and you consume more than 5 minutes of that content, you're stuck with it for a while until it shows in the numbers again that you don't have any interest, right? So those are things we should watch out for in terms of. Go ahead.
What we are consuming. No, I was gonna say, and when you are in the healing process, because there's internet can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. It depends on how you use it, right?
That's precisely what it is. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. So
yeah.
So if you, for example, so me as an example, when I was in my healing stage, I'm still in my healing. I've never been on the healing stage, right? But
yes,
like when I was right, when I was in the thick of it, right? Of course, internet is one of the ways that kind of wake me up. Okay, like I got a shock of my life. Like like something just clicked about the kind of content that I watched at that particular time that contributed to this the way I am today, right?
Yeah.
But subconsciously, even though I'm in the healing stage and I'm watching things that's helping me to get to that point, right? you have to be very careful. Even at that stage, it doesn't turn you into this bitter,
Yes,
person.
yes.
You know what I
So
like? You have to
so
be
on
very
the
selective.
men's, I don't know if they have a name they call it on the women's side, the thick
Uh-huh.
feminist side. I don't know what they call it, but on the men's side they call it the red pill rage, right?
Okay.
You just
Yeah.
find that you have rage because you're hearing all this quote unquote truth. It aligns, you can
Yes.
relate, and it becomes
Yes.
this generalized thing, and you conclude that it's the truth for everyone, but it's affecting your mental health.
Exactly. You
You
have to be
know?
very careful. You have to be very intentional what you are
Yeah.
feeding because
Yes.
everything is like a sponge. You're gonna be absorbing a lot of things and it's feeding into your
Especially when you're in pain.
yeah, when
Especially
you're
when
in
you're in
pain.
pain.
Thank you.
Yep.
That part. So
Yep.
subconsciously, it's gonna be, and you might want to hate everything of all things, whatever it is that's causing that pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to be very careful of how you go about it so that you don't going from healing to become a toxic person yourself.
From fry pan into fire, it gets worse.
Exactly.
It just gets
Yes.
worse. It gets worse,
Yes.
and the damages would have been created before you find out. I have people. I'll tell this story later on. I have a buddy of mine. Anyway, he basically because he's gone through something. He's concluding that this is the reasons why they told women to be hush in the church. Okay. So if somebody is going through stuff and they say that, it takes a lot of patience to not tackle that and say, what do you mean? But he's going through stuff, right? See, again, the interpretations you assign to the events of life. This is what we're talking about, right? Number 3, low adaptability to change is attacking family and marriage. Okay. Can we just agree that it's 2023 and not 1963? Can you say that to yourself? It's 2023, it's not 1963. Right? And the only thing that's constant in life is change. Right? Can we agree that you're muted though, Tima, just so you know. Okay, maybe she muted intentionally.
No, yeah, I don't want the background thing to
The
be getting
background.
to you.
Right.
But I want you
So-
to explain that low I can't pronounce it.
Adaptability. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2023, it's not 1963. So by default, the human experience is not the same. At the core, it's still the same. Personalities, temperament, we just want the same six basic needs. It's really all we need, right? That's what it comes down to: certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth, contribution. These are still the same thing. But how those stories are being told, how we seek after it, how we get these things have changed. Can we all agree to that? And also, when you marry a person, if it's so perfect, we had all of this conversation. Somebody said in Atabi's chat earlier today, said this thing should be discussed earlier on. Sure. What about after the earlier on? I think we should continue the conversation into after earlier on too. Why? Because the only thing that's constant in life is change, right? I think people struggle with change in general. All of us, we struggle with change. We don't like change. We're comfortable. Either we're talking in short term, in mid term, as in lifetime, 10 year span of a marriage, or we're talking about a lifetime. But yet, we can't avoid change. It's the reality. There is no way around it. No matter how much you try to force 1963 version of traditionality inside our throats, will it work, right? I think this right here is destroying family and marriage, directly or indirectly, regardless of your intentions. You might have good intentions, as a matter of fact. No matter the fact that you are having a hard time responding to change. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I'm one of the people that, like, when I get comfortable in the situation, I stay there forever and ever until something poke me or something like that.
Hold on. Sorry, Tima. Patricia, you had to leave. Let me say, she said, good night, MOP. I'm so sorry. She said, I just want to say, don't take social media or what I say seriously because social media is not real. It's a medium that creates a reality that may or may not be true. Oh, no, Patricia, you don't have to even worry about that. Listen, it's an open floor. You get to have your opinions. I get to have my opinions. Just trust me when I say, I don't even remember what you said earlier. It's just a conversation, right? The only thing I'll tell you that social media is as real as it gets. So we must learn how to manage it, okay? Because this information is coming into our ears, they become faith or fear. So we did, and that's what we're discussing right now. I would have loved to hear. If you want to come back, please feel free. I will give you room instantly because I know you probably have to go back and sleep. But sorry about that. She says social media is for entertainment purposes, informational purposes, and business advertising. Guess what's driving our life? All of those information drives our reality, unfortunately.
Whether we like it or not, I mean, we are in it. Social media is not going away. Like, it's gonna be part of our life, right?
This is it.
So,
this is it.
We just have to manage how we respond.
Speaking of change, right?
Yes.
Speaking of change.
So I was saying that, yeah, that part. I was saying I'm one of the people that when I'm comfortable, when I'm in a comfortable situation, unless something poke me, I'm gonna stay there for the next 10 years.
Good.
But if nothing, right? Is that a good thing about me? I just don't know. But it's like
it's neither. It's just the reality that we need to learn how to manage.
If nothing is chasing me, I'm not running. I have to. Unless something is chasing me, I'm not running. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not afraid of change because, like you said, change is part of our life. It's whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when it's happening, how we handle that change is what really matters most. Because in a lot of, especially in marriage, when you have a man and a woman, or whatever the form of union that you are cultivating, right? It is very important both of you are changing in the same direction, possibly, hopefully. And the changes might not come for both of you at the same time.
Yes.
Right?
Which is what creates the friction. This is why it's problematic. This is why it's difficult. It's easier said than done. But that's why we're talking about it, so you can prepare.
Yeah. It's not gonna come at the same way. It's not gonna come at the same time. But whatever the changes that both of you are going through, that you recognize it and be patient and be open-minded, right? To see to see. And for me is as long as you are not doing anything to purposely hurt me or cause me pain, I'm here for whatever changes you are going through. I'm here for it. And vice versa. I would want somebody, whatever it is that I'm going through or changing into, to be able to, be there for me. Same way.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're like the rest of us, right? We don't like change. And people don't change their behavior unless they are actually responding, gravitating towards pleasure or relief, or gravitating away from pain. That's how people change. If people might be in your world, your partner, your wife, your husband, they're completely oblivious. Remember that conversation about oblivious, right? Being oblivious.
Right.
And because hey, you're still here. They have other things they're worried about, other aspects of your family, and if they don't express some type of pain or increased pleasure or fantasy of pleasure or relief, they're not going to move because there's no real reason for them to move, right? So this brings in seduction, right? Seduction, the only difference between the seduction and manipulation is that seduction has value in it, right? It's like you put fish, right? Like you're trying to bait a fish, right? You put kidney on the line, to attract them. You put value them to attract them. It's different from manipulation, because manipulation really doesn't care about you. They want to use words to manipulate you to do what you want, right? So it's all linked together. You know, if you look at it, it's all linked together. It's linked to conflict resolution. If you're going to have any conversation in the beginning, I don't discount that you should have a lot of conversations in the beginning, by the way, in the form of fun. Okay, you're getting to know each other. Maybe you should talk about, hey, you're aware that change is reality in life, right? Like there's some kind of change. I will change 2, 3, 4, 5 years into our marriage. I didn't see it coming. I'm not lying to you right now. I just don't see what 7 years is from. Vice versa, the same thing, right? When people have low adaptability, the key thing here, the issue here, the devil here, the enemy here is the low adaptability, not the change. The change is a constant. Conflict is a constant in a situation where you're collaborating with other human beings. It's a constant. You can't avoid it. It's how you respond to it that makes all the difference. And sometimes you're the one responding, the other person is completely oblivious. So it makes you resent. Like, you didn't see that this is an issue. Welcome to the real world. This is how it works. Right?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I feel the same way. My wife feel the same way when she's the one seeing change and I don't see it. I'm like, wait, why are you trying to change that word? No, she's seeing change. She's responding to it in the way she knows how to, and all of that. But I can only face you that you're listening to me. Like when you see that, how you respond to it, your reaction to it is actions you're responsible for. Okay, you're not responsible. It's in your best interest to feel responsible for it. Okay, it's not your fault that they changed. It's just the reality of life, you know. But wait, before I go to number 4, let's see. Speaking of social media, it's like you're thinking ahead of us, Patricia, right? She said, love you, MOP, and MOP love you too, right? Speaking of social media based comparison and idolatry. Banky W, right? That's what we're talking about right now, right? People responding to this story, right? It's telling. It's idolatry, right? Right? That's what it's coming down to.
There's a lot of responsibility there. So I don't even. You see, when I saw it on my YouTube feed, right? Again, you know, my YouTube feed. I think you are always like number one. Like whenever I open my YouTube, you are there.
Thank you so much.
There. You know what I mean? Right.
Right.
I'm not lying. Like I can't get rid of you. Like if I don't want to, it keep popping. I'm like, oh, here come Ola again. You know. When I saw it, I was like, no way, like, oh, please don't let that be true. You know what I mean? I don't even know how people come up with Banky and Adesuwa thing, because they are such you know, I won't say exemplary, but I get, you know, in their own words, for their own people
I think example is good. I think we should feel safe enough to say examples until they prove otherwise. There's nothing wrong with saying this is good examples. We need more of them so we can celebrate what it's supposed to look like. And make it okay if they disappoint you later on. It's okay.
Later on. It's not the end of the world, right?
Yes.
Because you see, the funny thing is, if marriage is just for the riches, or for the famous, or for the celebrity, or something like that, poor people will not be getting married, right? It just means that every single person, rich, poor, famous, unknown, whatever you are, you know, you will collect if you don't do it right. You will collect if you don't feed to the purpose of your marriage.
It sounds better when you say you go collect. Say it a pidgin. You go collect.
No, like me and you, we don't speak pitching. My pitching is.
You can speak that one. You go collect. So that you don't have to be my body. She will try like, what is you will collect?
Yeah, you go collect. You know what? If money can hold, if money can hold marriage, if money can hold marriage, right? Bill Gates will not be divorced.
Money, right?
Will not be divorced, okay? We're talking about real money here now. And if famous is like being famous or a star, it is. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, whoever, they would not be divorced.
Countless.
Right? So it comes
Look,
down to the individual humanity.
This is one of the comments. Oh, I posted this myself into here. It's okay. This is one of the comments. Is a quote from Auntie B's platform earlier. Successful and high value men are irresistible to women. That's why there will be long line of women ready to be baby mama to David's. Okay. But what that person is talking about money, I can read through between the lines. Money does not sustain nothing.
Marriage.
It's like social media. It magnifies for the moment. Okay? You better have something else going inside, deeply rooted. Yeah, you better be doing extra work beyond anything that's myopic, social media, money, aesthetic, like human body, right? You know, some women look good, you look beautiful. I like nice body too, right?
When I was in a relationship, right? Because I'm not even fairly on social. Like I want to know what's going on, and I like to gossip. Okay, that's what brings me to social media. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But like I mean healthy gossip. I don't do. I don't.
Healthy. Okay.
Yeah. But you
just
know, like
gist,
when
just
I was
gist now, you see stuff that's
right,
going on.
the gist, you know, just to be able to know what's going on. But when I was in my situation, right, my relationship, and he's kind of person that he want us to be on this social media thing. But for me, I held on to the fact that unless my private life matched that public life, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna come on social. You know what I mean? Like go social media and say this is the best thing that ever happened to me, and then
right. So was he the PDA type of person? He liked to display it. Was he that type of person? Is that what you're saying?
He likes to display without people know that he's the one displaying. That.
How does that work?
He exactly. So if he to display him in such a way that just to fit to his ego. I don't know, but it's like I did it a little bit for a while when I didn't catch up, with the whatever we have going on. But then when I realized, like, no, my private life is not matching. It's not matching, honey.
Okay, so what he shows in the public on social media pages is not how you felt inside of the relationship.
Inside the house, yes.
Gotcha,
and inside the house is more important to me. And I just cancel everything all together. Like I'm not gonna set myself up here because it's a setup. Really, it's really a setup because it's not giving, and I'm not doing it.
That's where the comparison comes in, because oftentimes when you see, now we're drawing the line, right? There's a place for example, and there's a place where you turn them to idols. There's a blurry line between the two, and we're now talking on number 4, where when you turn them into idols is when you tend to it's also aligned with you have a tendency to consume only negative news, and you can't wait till this stuff become negative news, because honestly you're not really seeing that as example. You're just hoping that they're perfect and it doesn't exist. But you can see people as good examples, and it's a difficult thing that I'm asking you to do, because especially if you've been through bad experiences, you're like, well, example, idolatry, I see them as one of a kind. No, there's a healthy place where naturally your first thought when you see Banky W kissing on his wife on social media is like, oh, you hit like, it's not that big of a deal to you. You double click, you move on, right? When you sit with it and you're like, these ones are probably lying to themselves. So, what's your man saying here? Hey, at that point, within the idolatry, you would like to tell yourself that, you just kind of like it, but you're fantasizing about the idea that they are perfect. And what I just described sounds like I'm on the fence again, I know. But it's a place where you are that you're at peace when you see people celebrating their love, right? And it's not a big deal, right? If somebody said, it doesn't mean today you didn't say, oh, it's probably true. It doesn't mean that. But if you had been following Banky W and you know his story, he's been a cancer survivor in more recent times. as a matter of fact. And you align that all the way together with, even when it was R&B, it's not a playboy like that. Of course, it was probably around
Right.
a few chicks here and there because it's the industry, right? But it's not a playboy
Right.
to be loving up on Adesuwa like that. If you align that all the way together to the fact that that story is like trying to paint a picture that is him, but it's not really him, it will make sense. Naturally, you'll be like, nah, it's not him, right? If you don't know him and you see this news and you've been watching Yul Edochie's story for the last few months, it's okay that you thought
Very
it's probably
easy,
true.
right. Right.
Right? So, because again, it's going back to what we're talking about, which is the kind of content you consume. We're kind of like, we control the direction that your mindset goes when you see this type of stuff, the type of interpretation you give to this type of stories when you see them.
Right.
Because you will see, oftentimes, in any of these stories, we have enough disagreements, naturally. You think this is true, I think this is true. That's fine, right? But I'm just saying, if we're trying to take it into your personal life right now, in a marriage, at some point you got to pay attention to how you interpret these issues, right? So even if it's true that this guy has cheated today, the fact that you assumed he cheated, that spoke volumes about you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not even about him. It's not about him.
We don't. Unless for people who know, like him internally, right? Like,
right.
I don't up until this time. I will see them every here and there, like on the web somewhere. Like I have no idea what's going on in their world, but my image of them as a lovely couple. When you see lovely couple, I adore them as a lovely couple, right?
Yes.
And the fact that the news broke the way he broke out, because it's like everybody making an assumption is them. We don't even know for sure if it's them. So for me,
we don't know.
Yeah, like no, please don't. May God not make that be true. You know what I mean? And even if it's true, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Really,
it's nothing new.
Yeah, it's not a news. It's like really, it's the only people that is gonna need to take care of that situation is him and his wife.
Yeah.
The rest of us, we are just gossiping.
We move on to the next story next week. Literally.
That would not make me not to get some sleep, really. Honey,
we'll move on to the next story next week. It's a fine line between gravitation towards negativity, particularly in your mind, in the way you interpret these issues, and idolatry, right? Like you're turning these people into idols. That's not the same thing as you see good example, you celebrate it. Just examine yourself. Do I have a tendency to have doubts when people are doing PDAs, right? Public display
Can I
of
say
affection.
something, Ola, with what you just said? How you interpret negativity says a lot about how you feel about yourself.
Fact.
I don't know if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Like how you interpret negativity, like when you see something negative and how you interpret that in your mind, say a whole lot about yourself, not even what you're looking at, really, because
it's again
we are responding to our experience. Our experience like depends what side of experience that you are. It's gonna determine how you say, "Ooh, I knew it." He's such a ooh, I knew. I knew it. No, you don't know nothing.
I knew men. I knew men are full of it.
Yeah,
all men are scum.
Women are that. Like
yeah. That takes us to number 5. Personal experience-based generalizations is destroying. It's an enemy. Is the devil that's destroying family and marriage. Everyone's experience is unique. Everyone's story is unique. There are no two fingerprints that are like biometrics. Okay.
Yes.
I know there are patterns, and I'm actually telling you to understand there are patterns. But if you're looking at Banky W, you have to look at his pattern, right? Also know that there's a tendency will continue the same pattern, but there's a possibility that he will break it and disappoint you, right? But it probably won't happen because there's a pattern, right? Because there's a lifestyle. The pattern is what can help you build discernment, right? You don't even know what you're looking at, but your spirit disagrees with it. You just know. It's the same thing when you're trying to pick a spouse for the future. You don't know everything, but your spirit aligns with it. You gotta be careful. Is it the money that's making your spirit align with it? Is money your love language, right? Or something at a deeper level, right? Are we talking about actual love language? Can we dig in a little deeper? Are you is this guy right here? What is it about him that's attracting you? Is he just that good of a seductress, seductor, whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
Is it just that good, or your discernment is actually working for you because you've been working on yourself? If you've been working on yourself, there's just something that will not align with you. Discernment, there are patterns, but when you have personal based, when you generalize, what is generalization, right? Generalizations tend to start with things like men are. You're not always wrong. Sometimes you're speaking out of statistics. I'm just saying, if you tend to do that, right, it's about you. There's something if you're doing that and there's a blurry line between that and your experience, it's a confirmation bias. You got to be careful. You will attract what you fear the most. You're probably speaking out of fear. Men are, women are, men do, women have, most men, most women, right? If you have a few talking points that start with these things, you're not necessarily wrong, okay? You're probably right because you're speaking from your experience. The issue here is that you're conflicting it. You're acting like this is a statistic you've seen. You're acting like you've been around all 8 billion human beings in the world. You're acting like there's not only just about, 20 people in your personal circle at most. Right? So you're acting like you don't go to just those one few channels that are repeating the same talking point all the time. They're repeating the same thing all the time, right?
All the time.
Why do I tell you if you want to date, like, put yourself out there? Shout out to Auntie B. She told somebody earlier today, like, I'm not doing matchmaking. Get your butt out there, mingle.
I heard it. Yeah.
Right? Mingle. I thought about the matchmaking thing. It's a lot of headache. There are systems that you can build around it, but it's a different job entirely. Like, I think it's better when you have confidence and you can put yourself in quote unquote emotional harm's way. Get disappointed a little bit. Let them break your heart small. Come back to wise counsel. Let them help you interpret it. It's not really about you. You're having an experience. Right? And you're going to build patterns out of those experience, and then you start to pick apart what works, what doesn't work, because you're having experience. When you combine experience with mentorship, some level of coaching, you can't lose. If you do only coaching and you're not putting yourself out there, you're a loser by default. If all you're doing is having experience, having experience, and you don't have mentorship and coaching, you are probably a loser too, because again, it's a little bit dirty in the dating scene right now because everyone is generalizing, and sometimes they show it in their energy and you can't tell, and you're confirming it and it's confirming that, and then you give up because again, nobody likes rejection of any type, indirect or direct, right? But when you have support systems, things are a little bit easier, right? And then support system will tell you that all 8 billion or all 300 million people in America are not in your circle. Stop looking at those statistics. What is in your circle? Where have you been hanging out? What social media platforms have you been hanging out? What channels have you been watching, right? If you have a tendency to, when you're about to generalize, because we all generalize, right? If you're about to generalize, you're like some. You have a tendency to say some, or you say a lot. A lot doesn't mean majority. A lot of human beings are evil. It doesn't mean majority. If that was majority, this would be a war zone, right? But a lot, if I say if 2% of 8 billion people, okay, never mind 8 billion, 20 million people in New York City, right? 2% of that, is that a lot of people? Yes, that's a lot of people, right? It's okay to say that. You can say that. You can say some are, but keep in mind that we have to add context to it. It's not just because if you say some or a lot, and in your context, I can still hear generalization, gross generalization, pain. You go collect, not me giving you collection here, but it will show in your life, okay? You will attract what you fear the most. When you generalize, or you have a tendency to generalize off of the worst case scenario of the human experience. Go, let me hear your thoughts on this.
So I know, like in real life, I know more successful couple, like in real life, right? More successful couple that I would know, like on the internet, or like, like I have,
In
maybe
your
I'm one
personal
of the
life.
person. Yeah, maybe I'm one of the person in my line of family. I don't know, but it doesn't mean that it's perfect for every one of them, right? But
Exactly.
they make you work somehow. They make you work, and they make you work to the point that you will want something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I went to one of my sister 50th birthday about a few years ago, and
Yeah.
which her husband threw for her. And after the party, right, we went home, and there are other 5 individual couples. So my sisters and her husband make the 6th one, right? And
Okay.
every single couple that were there, I mean, really, I was in the midst of my divorce at that time, right? I was like, wow, this is how marriage is supposed to be. Like, I mean, my sister and my husband has been exemplary for me, but like to see other their clothes, because the people that follow them home are their clothes.
Right.
Like these people, they miss every
Yep.
once in a week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I told my sister as a girl, like, she said, yeah, they meet every once a week. They just make sure they keep each other in check, and they were extremely happy. I mean, when I mean, like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, so
Yep.
I know successful marriage and successful couple who are
Right.
making it. For me to conclude in my mind, like, oh, men are this or women are that.
Like it's just
No,
bad.
unless, yeah, I'm not. I'm very much
Yeah.
open. I'm very
Yeah.
careful. You know what I mean? But I'm not
Open.
gonna write off anyone, man or woman, to say, oh,
Yeah.
they are this or they are that, because I know better. I know that a lot of successful person couple that they are doing big things, and they are each other best friend, and they are looking out
Right.
for each other. I mean, really, you have to be extremely damaged to not see it. You know what I mean? I have no
Yeah.
excuse to say this or that. So it's like I stay in that positivity, because I know people who their marriage are working, and not just
Yeah.
they're not managing it. It's working. Okay, it's working the way it's supposed to. And
Yep.
I went to a wedding where this guy asked me to dance, right? And I like his vibe. He likes my vibe, whatever. From dancing, we were talking, what. We were sitting down, and
Right.
another guy who I know, who happened to be like a husband of a niece, I would say, right, came by, and he was greeting me, and he was shaking this guy hand, like, hey, like, dude, and I was like, how old are you? And he was like, oh, I'm 28. I said, boy, what am I? I mean, the level of his intelligence, I'm talking here now, okay? Like,
Right.
he's 28, but
But it's
he have
matured.
the charisma and intelligence of a
Yeah.
48 person. You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I do not know this guy is 28. I said, boy, go put 20 years to that age, and then maybe come back. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoy what we do, whatever. But nah, I ain't go that low. Like, I ain't dating my nephew. Like, good luck, sir. You're gonna make one woman happy. Go ahead, but it's not gonna be me.
Right. Right. All,
I
all,
said
all it needs is to have an opportunity to be around you a few more
exactly.
times. You will compromise those rules
And
easily.
I don't think I'm able to go that low. That would
There's
be
nothing,
wrong.
and there's no, as long as it's a grown adult, and listen.
No, it's too young for me. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, but I kind of appreciate the fact that, well, I'm not too bad. A 28-year-old, and I will be the least person to even say that, because I'm not looking for younger people. I'm looking for an experienced person. You know what I mean? I'm
Experience is a
looking
big
for
deal.
a man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting clause on the age either. Like, you have to be older than me, or I have to be older than him, whatever the case may be. But no,
Yeah.
28 will not be for me, because again, I had no more kids, honey. If
Yeah.
so for that reason, you know what I mean?
Right.
I want
Right. I know what you
someone
mean.
who,
You need people that
yeah,
can think at your same level, vibe at the same level in all
yeah,
dimensions, as many as possible. and so you don't have to deal with unnecessary conflicts that babies have to deal with.
Conflict in the down the road. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing to experience. You know what I mean? I want. Yeah, but like their generation of men, and I'm glad that I interact with this guy, because the same thing with the guy that I know who is a husband to my niece. They're of the same group of men, which I'm really excited for them, and who is their wife or their future wife, because I feel like those generation, hopefully they get it. They are in tune with whatever, they all vibe together, and I will watch my niece and their husband. They get each other, even though they are young, but you would love them, like, how come I didn't get this? It's nice to see. So I hope I'm not lost.
So people need to pay attention to their circle. What kind of people have you been surrounding yourself with? Sometimes you might come and say, all these people that act they're married, they're suffering. There's a good chance that you're surrounded by married people that are suffering.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing else you're telling me other than that. You're not making any statement that's like, I've made the truth. No. You're telling me the kind of people you're surrounded by. That's all it is. All the kind of content you'll be consuming. If you're hanging out inside of Fiend on Facebook, listen, faith cometh by hearing. You're going to speak like people that hang out in Fiend. Okay? It's just what it is. And it's not a crime. It's just, you should know that this is how human brain works. Speaking of generalization, right, here's some example. Particularly the ones you need to be careful about is the one that tends to highlight negative stereotypes. Okay, you can generalize in positive stereotypes. It doesn't hurt you for obvious reason. It's positive. It's not about if you're right and wrong ever on this platform. I think you're right by default. It's about your mindset. It's about your emotional stability. It's about how you can shoot yourself on the legs if you have the wrong mindsets. That's what I'm always talking about. So I generalize too, like everybody else. When it comes to generalizing around negative stereotypes, especially if it's something I can relate with, I am extra careful. Okay? And that's really all I'm asking. If you are talking about relationships, negative stereotypes that's generalized, I want you to understand that while that number could be true, you're going to replicate it because that's all you're focused on, because that's all you fear the most. Here's an example. Men don't compromise when it comes to marriage.
What?
All right. So there's no way that this person is not speaking from experience. Right? I personally know that there are way too many men that compromise, over compromise, Mr. Nice Guys, and because he's Mr. Nice Guy, he thinks he deserves better because he's a good man. He even collect on top. Okay?
Right.
Even collect on top because the wife now says you're boring and completely moved away with the boyfriend. I mean,
as it is in women fall in the hand of toxic men, there is a man that fall in the hand of toxic women.
Yes.
You know what? You understand what I mean?
Yes.
To say only women that is falling into the victim of toxic men, no, that is not accurate. It is true, but it's not accurate. Like
it's true for you.
We have it both ways. I mean, I know nice men. Ola, I know the most nicest men that fall into the victim of this. You know how they say opposite attract?
Of women who would compromise.
Exactly. And they're collecting big time on top of their nicest thing, whatever it is. They are men. They are collecting from these toxic women.
Yes.
That for whatever reason is, that's who they pick. That's who they pick. Okay.
So there's a fine line here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. There is a fine line here, right? There's a place where it might seem like we're invalidating people's experience. Okay. Well, this is not your coaching session. This is just YouTube. In general, okay? See, I'm generalizing now. If this is how you think, there's a good chance. I even said good chance. So it's already counted for that you are speaking from your personal experience. Okay? And it's dangerous. I want you to understand that it's dangerous that you're making this an absolute truth, because even when you see a good man, you won't be able to recognize it, because all you will see is red. You just see red everywhere, right? Because this is just how your mind sees it. You know, it's dangerous for you, not for me. You can generalize all you want. Like I said, all of us generalize. I'm just letting you know, be careful when you say these kind of things, and I'm seeing the effects everywhere. Okay. In fact, you can't wait to tell more people that men don't compromise when it comes to marriage. How can you recognize men that? How will you be able to recognize men that compromise in marriage if you already think men don't compromise in marriage? Could possible now? See, it's an oxymoron, right? So, but men do.
And if that's what you believe, right? If that's how you feel, because again, healing takes time, right?
It takes time.
Because
yeah.
what you are feeling is what you are feeling, and sometimes you might not be able to help to shake it off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If that's how you feel, stay with that feelings, feel it, okay?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
don't be saying men are this or women are that, and then go ahead and get one of them. Don't do that.
Yes. I want you to understand that your feeling is valid, but please don't recruit more people into that mindset.
Yeah, to that mindset. Don't do that. That's where we make a lot of mistake, because even though we believe this and we end up doing that, then you are shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, precisely. Yep. Here's another one. We're rounding up right now, because we already gave the 5 ways, right? Last one is gross generalizations around negative stereotypes. Men want more and never satisfied, unlike Obama and them. So idolatry and generalization at the same time. Have you read? I guarantee you this person has not read Obama's book. Okay, maybe you should go pick up the books.
I didn't read Obama. I didn't read all of it. I read part of it, not all of it. It was such a big book. But
yeah.
So people like Obama, I look at him as one of the perfect men. I don't know if
it's okay. It's okay,
right?
For your own,
right?
For you,
for real.
Yeah, you look at it as right. That's fine. You know. The point of this conversation is I draw a line, Kikiri. Nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a journey. I want you to embrace your journey so you can create your own version of perfection, so that other people can see you and your partner as quote unquote perfect. Right. To the point that even you get hit with a publicity crisis like what Banky just got hit with, and you can shake it off.
Absolutely.
Right. I want you to have a little sense of reality there, and I want you to understand that you're a normal person if you also idolize Obama small. Auntie Joker Silva, Auntie Olu Jacob. In your lawn, you're a normal person. Okay. Right. In fact, if you've gone through certain experiences and you think you're also normal. I'm just letting you know that you don't want to continue to collect. Let's heal. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's engage wise counsel, coaching, programs, better content, so you can finally, hopefully, see that life can be sweet. Or sweeter than your experience. Here's another one. Most married men are hungry for extramarital kerewa. Focus on hungry. Focus on hunger. Voila.
Hey, that hungry. Hey, people they hungry anyhow. I don't know.
Ongawa. But let me give you this news flash.
Okay.
There are men who their wife is actively trying to run away from them anytime they are going naked in the room, because he's that attracted to his wife.
Absolutely.
He's hungry for that. And even if he's fallen before, he knows the difference. Like, there's nothing like a solid experience with my wife. No side chick can compare to this, because he feels anything in life that's worthwhile is about depth and not about width. about spreading wide. Okay.
And there's nothing really absolutely wrong with men being hungry for Keriwa, okay? I mean, that's a healthy way to go about it, right? As
No,
long as you
what
are
are you
feeling.
talking about? Keriwa or extramarital Keriwa? Look at the screen very well. Let's
Oh,
clarify.
no, sir. No, extramarital
Alright.
Kerewa, I think is another level of, that I'm not part of that. I cannot support that. You know what I mean? That's another
Yeah.
level that nobody should
Yes.
be hungry for that, really.
Yes.
But in your own
Yes.
marriage, within your covenant, or how do you say it, there's nothing
Yes. So
absolutely
this
wrong with being
statement.
hungry.
So to push you back into context more, this statement is assuming that the man you just alluded to be hungry for Kiriwa inside of your hungry does not exist. This statement is assuming that men are hungry for extramarital Kiriwa, right? They're just inherently hungry for it, right? Are there men that are like that? Yes, duh, right?
But not all
Most
men
married
that are
men,
like that.
yes. Now this person put most so that we don't call them generalized. Baba, you are generalizing. We can smell through it. We can smell through it. That's the context here. Go ahead. I'm hearing you, Jerry, my sister.
No, so if there are men that are hungry for extramarital
Yes.
affairs,
Kiriwa.
I personally I'm not even mad at them for feeling. Is that what they are feeling really? Is that what you are truly feeling? Stay out of matrimonial arena, okay?
Yeah.
Go feed your hunger somewhere.
Yeah.
As much as you want. You don't have to be in commitment relationship, and then you say you feeling, honey. It is called commitment. If you are not, if nobody is forcing you to commit, don't force yourself to commit. Okay. Being an adult, be responsible enough. Own your craft. Take your hunger. Go to the best restaurant that you can find.
And feed
No,
it.
really.
Okay, all right.
And feed your hunger with whatever you want.
And feed
Nobody
yourself.
will.
Good to see you, Mrs. She said, not today here, not today here, not to area. Don't enter. See her. She don't enter finally.
Are they here? I went for a graduation, but at least I was graduated.
Oh, pole.
Oh, congratulations for your meeting.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Please don't congratulate me. We are going to move from can I have a 20 to can I have a 50 now?
Yes, sir.
So,
hey, I know, right?
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, I'll just say, oh, yo. But yes, so the focus of this one, Sha, is about the generalizers, right? If you think married men are hungry for extramarital Kiriwa, first of all, you can't avoid wanting Kiriwa, even you as a woman, and you're probably going to attract a man who is hungry for extramarital Kiriwa because your behavior will create it. I'm not saying it's your fault if they do it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not talking about the morals right now. I'm talking about the reality of how these things work. Even if they are good, you will never believe them. Because remember, what you believe is that married men are hungry for extramarital Kiriwa, right? And this becomes your reality. You will start snooping around and looking through phones. That's what you'll be doing, basically. Even if the phone is clean, you will say they deleted it. You will say they have been deleting it. You won't be satisfied. So whatever is going on there that's making that person generalize, I suggest they seek healing, right? Here's a good one. This is positive stereotype. It's generalizing, but it can't really hurt you, right? Men want adventure and respect. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the best we can do to push against this is to say women want adventure and respect. Okay, good. Right.
And adventure and respect is not the same as for women or men. Like we all have, like whatever it is, just study who you are dealing with. Okay.
Exactly.
Study who you are dealing with and speak their love language to them because again.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah,
so thank you. I'm actually going to take that correction. So it can actually work against you because you might think men want adventure and respect, and this man you're with, there's a little bit more to his story. Yeah, it's a little bit more to his story. So still generalization in general. It's just, please, that negative stereotype thing is dangerous. That one will reflect instantly on your relationships because it's fear based, and you will basically create what you are fearing. Even if it doesn't exist in real life, it will take over your mind. Here's a good one. Not to feel free to chime in.
Ola, can I say something real quick before you say that? Adding to what Tim has said, right? I feel like a lot of people are not going into marriage because they want to. So a lot of people are not intentional about what they're getting into. And that's why a lot of people are not open to learning. And learning who your partner is, where you need to make adjustments, things you need to do to make the other person happy. Some people just assume that whatever makes me happy should make you happy.
Should be good enough.
Exactly. But that's not what it is. Or just say because she's a woman, women love flowers. Not all women love flowers. Women love gifts. No women love gifts. Some women love adventure. And I see that all the time. That
do you like flowers? Do you like flowers?
I love flowers. I love flowers.
I was about to generalize. My generalization just end up in the poto.
I love flowers and I love adventure. So instead of giving me money, you can take me on a trip.
Seriously, I was about to say, Nigerian women don't like flowers.
I'm a sucker for flowers, and my mom is the same. Even my mom, as old school as she is, she's a sucker for flowers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife don't care for it. She doesn't care.
I don't know. So like I want money, right? Give me money.
That's a love language. Mbati's love language is money.
It's money. Listen, if you're a woman of a certain age, you've probably been there, done that. Like, I beg, give me money. All that serenity.
Give me money.
Please take me on a trip.
Yeah.
Right. Let me tell you why I'm not going to ask for money. I'm a bad spender. I'm a Santa Claus. If that money comes to me, my go to where is
you
money?
You will give it to. That's why you were talking about give me 20 to give me 50.
Yeah.
Because you will give it away.
Exactly. So just take me on a trip. That's all for me. So I was just saying, right? If you have if you have a car, let's say now I have a Hyundai 2011. If I switch my car to get a newer version and it requires me to put a super, I cannot put a regular gas in it because it requires a super to be able to act effectively and not mess up before it reach like whatever time they need it to like. You understand what I'm saying? So exactly. So the same applies to a woman. If you marry a woman that requires super, bro, you gotta put in a super gas. Don't put in regular and expect her to give you something else. You know, you gotta put a super gas. That's
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story quickly, right? I worked for FedEx for 7 years. Between 1999 and 2006, I was working during my college years. I was working part-time as a courier. I was driving. I was the smallest courier you see out there, basically. And I noticed that we were forbidden to buy, because we buy gas. They gave us card that has Visa on it to buy gas into the trucks. We were actually forbidden to buy anything above regular. You can actually get written up for buying anything above regular.
Whoa. Wow.
Right. So, so I took that. We're talking about generalization, right? I took that, and shout out to Toby. I'm going to come to your comments section. I took that into my own cars, right? So I'm like, I'm not buying. I'm not like, even corporate, like they forbid us. Like, so I will buy a regular. So any car, until I bought a BMW, and I was like,
no, you can't do it now.
Yeah, maybe that's a bad idea.
Hello.
Maybe I should. So when you attract, like you were saying, if you attract a good woman, it's probably a bad idea to buy regular gas.
Let me tell you.
And be feeding that. But if she's also exuding a good woman, right? I don't think anybody has to tell you, just like no one had to tell me, right? Like, that's Christ-like way to ride during college. Can use regular, but
this one right here,
before I run it down, because every visit to mechanic is $1,000.
Exactly.
You know,
Okay.
so and small little lower quality of gas, petrol for those of you in Nigeria, can destroy the engine, you know, or
Yeah.
start make the engine start running wild, you know.
Right.
Toby and Tribe says the problem though is while growing up, some of us heard from our uncles saying some of these stereotypes, saying things like a man can't be with only woman. I completely understand you, and some of them still say it, and it's destructive. It's messing things up for a lot of men who actually want to do the right thing, right? A lot of men who may, it's messing things up for them because that's why I said men washing plates or washing pata is not good enough. You have to have some street smart in your romance. You have to understand how a woman function. You have to know how to handle, just in case a woman has heard some stereotypes, some bad stereotypes in the past. She's digging through your phone and she's asking, she just need to feel safe. Okay, if she doesn't feel safe, she will go back to all those equilibriums, right?
Correct.
And start digging through. She will start interpreting, going back, reflecting back into those
That's
stereotypes. So I don't worry about that too much. Just learn how to make your woman feel safe, secure, and loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no room to be snooping around when you are busy feeling loved,
Yeah.
So, but I completely understand that's a reality for a lot of people. When you combine that together with a man who doesn't know how to respond to crisis, let's say your woman is acting some type of funny way because she doesn't trust you or she has trust issue, and you're overreacting to that, it just gets worse. She multiplies that, she mixes it together with her past trauma, like bad stereotypes in the past, and it's just that's why people are suffering. Like these things are hard to walk through. That's why I keep telling you it's easier said than done. You need to keep feeding onto all those bad experiences or bad stereotype disappears into the past.
Okay. I don't know if it was you yesterday or I heard it somewhere that someone was saying that some mothers need to start sitting with their sons and telling them that some of these things that their fathers are doing, that these men are learning from, that is not okay. But because they don't want to talk about it, those mothers, like, they keep like enduring it. The boys be like, oh, my father did this and nothing happened. My mother stayed with it. My mother endured it. Like, so are you not a woman too? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if older people are beginning to get open to these younger generations, they will know a lot of things that's going on.
Yeah, I think.
Another thing.
Good.
Another thing too is that you see the generation that we are right now. There's no excuse for anyone, man or woman, not to only educate yourself or seek for help or education in whatever ways or form that you can, especially if you live in a place where there's internet, okay? And then on top of that, it's like, when you're talking of a man controlling the whole house, like, first of all, get hold of your emotion first.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes I still want to act out, and I try to do age appropriate measure with him, because again, everything is about age appropriate. You don't want to give a 10-year-old what you're going to give to 20-year-old. It's not the same.
Right.
So because you are building them slowly, you have to be very careful and speak life into them. When my son want to act out of ordinary and just want to, I find a way to just not only to calm him down, I need to explain to him why and why not.
Yes, he needs to know why.
I need to, you know what I mean? And I need to let him know that, and he got sisters. Sometimes I tell him, like, your sister is going to be the best way of you learning how to grow to your better self, because they are girls that's going to grow into women. You know what I mean?
Because the conversation changes. The conversation tend to change once you said, I have a sister, I have a mother. If you're connected to that, unless some people have had bad experiences even with their own family, with their own mother and their own sister, and they tend to generalize around that too. But usually, if you have a sister that you have solid relationship with, somehow you can relate. Now you want to protect that because you can relate. That's why examples and experience are nobody's mate.
One of the perfect examples that I'll give to what Mbasi said is Obama. Obama said that because he grew up without his father, and he yearned for that figure in his life, he swore that he would not miss anything that has to do with his daughters, and he became intentional about it. So when people start making excuses about like how I grew up, like, it's not an excuse. You have to make that choice and be intentional about it. But because a lot of us don't know, I've been reading Miles Monroe's book that said, understanding the purpose of a woman.
Miles Morrow is good.
Yes, he said if the purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Do you understand what? If you don't know your purpose as a parent, you're going to abuse the purpose of the whole idea of being a parent. If you don't know what is the purpose of having a wife, you're abuse the purpose of being married. And men also need to understand that. I'm speaking from the women WhatsApp group. All women are not the same.
Yeah, facts.
I learned this from my mom. My mom has 4 daughters. She never punishes us the same way.
Because you all are different.
Yes,
how you will respond to this punishment are different.
My elder sister, you have to give her 2 cane for her to reset. I used to collect 2 cane until I built my immune system became too strong that I don't react to it.
Exactly, you go numb.
So my mom now understood that I hate conversations. So she wake me up at night and talk to me for 2 hours, bro.
Oh gosh, no. Your mother is my mother.
So before Natu came in, Tima, before Natu came in, remember we talk about pain and pleasure. People don't change their behavior unless you're gravitating towards away from pain or towards pleasure or relief.
Towards pleasure, right?
So if a child feels pain, right, a sense of it. I'm not saying don't go and cut your baby's hand and put
right.
I'm talking about a sense of it, particularly emotionally. You're gonna work better. That one works better than anything physical. Emotionally, that they just hate that. If they feel that, the correction is a lot better. It's effective when you have that together with the why, right?
Yeah.
They just don't want that experience anymore. They course correct, right?
Yeah, I check myself real quick because I don't want to have those 2 hour, 3 hour. And she will not be. She'll just be talking. Oh my God! She will ask me to open Bible and read the Bible verse that relate to what I did. What Bible verse compensated what punishment? Yeah. Bro, listen. So people just need to understand. If men will understand that women are not the same, I feel like a lot of people will do better in their relationships. A lot of people will do better in their marriages, and people are intentional.
Right.
If you remember in the WhatsApp group, when we were talking about, what did you post last week that somebody was saying that, what if you were saying that if you're talking and the person doesn't want to learn or listen because part of their culture? Yeah, we're talking about nagging. So, and I told,
we're in the middle of producing that video. It should be out tomorrow.
You remember? Yeah, you remember when I was saying that we used to belong to that WhatsApp group. Like I'm still in the car, that's why I didn't go inside. Like literally, myself and my husband belong to that WhatsApp group. Okay. When I start my own, he will start his own. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I started joining Man of Prestige and Auntie B, this year I refuse. I refuse to. This man pushes me to the wall and want me to talk. I will not talk. You know what I'm saying? I will not talk. At one time I told him, I said, I love you too much to disrespect you. This man's brain resets from 360 to 0.
Yes.
Like the way my husband's brain reset is still shocking me.
Right.
This man has gone more than 3 months now without nagging over anything.
So this is the importance of fasting.
Yes.
Christians that don't understand what the purpose of fasting is for, or being celibate, right? Or you're delaying gratification. The point is to delay gratification. It's not to discount gratification.
Correct.
It's not to disrespect the gratification.
Correct.
It's to understand that sometimes you have to let the process find its own equilibrium, right? And the way you do that, sometimes you pull back. You hold.
Right.
You build self-control from that.
That's right.
Because your natural self, your knee-jerk reaction, you are now punishing it. You're also training it, right?
Because to tell you the truth, I have a quick reaction to BS. If you understand what I'm saying,
you will just respond.
Right. I don't even listen to you talk to understand.
You already know where you're going.
Exactly.
You just fire for fire.
That's the natural me. And 2 days we're gonna be good, all lovey-dovey. But when the thing happen, everybody will just go their own way. This is what I was saying. That what I was saying. So, but like I was telling that person in the group, I said you will not win. Why? Because for 5 years we tried, nobody won.
Yeah.
We didn't win. We did not win. So you will not win if you're trying to apply the same method because this woman was doing that to you before, and now you read this one. You think that all women are the same. They're not the same.
Yep.
They're not the same. And when I came to sit down and analyze one day, I'm like, you know something? This guy is not really a bad guy, because when I started checking up the things I get passes on, Oh my God. I'm like, first of all, okay, what am I nagging about? What am I fighting about? Let's check it first.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
no, I'm very serious because if I don't want to cook, I can come back and just say I'm having a headache. That's automatic pass. You just tell me
Yeah.
go and lie down and find something. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to
Yeah.
cook every day. I can wake up one and find and clean the whole house. I don't get to do laundry. I get to do grocery. He doesn't like doing grocery. That so you understand? So when I check out the
Right.
things that I don't like to do, that I get passed on, I'm like, okay, I think I'm beginning to be ungrateful.
There you go.
Just
But
like, yeah, I
it
tell
takes you.
myself.
So you doing that form of fasting was also good for you.
Yes,
Yoruba
it
people say
was.
ti ojuba fa abale arimu. That means if your
Yeah.
eyes calm down, you will see the nose.
Yes.
And if your eyes is always doing this, it's always doing that, you can't see anything, right?
Yeah. So now that I calm down and I'm beginning to get more appreciative of the things that he's doing, like we're in a far better place than we used to be.
Yeah.
Because now we are in a place of like appreciation more than complain of because I feel like we are leaving the things that we're supposed to be thankful for the other person for and just holding
Yes.
on to the things that the person did not do. You
You
didn't do
can't
this,
you
you didn't do
can't
that, you're
you
not
can't
doing
see gratitude if you
no,
can't see it. You know, you can't
no.
if you're always correcting, nagging. Speaking of
Yes.
nagging, right? If
What
you're
do you call it? Or like say unseductive attitude, what do you call it?
yeah, it's anti-seductive.
Anti-seductive.
Yeah, you're correcting everything. You're police. You're
Yes.
police. Yeah.
No,
Moral
literally,
police. That one is wrong.
both of
This was wrong. This is right. This is
both of
wrong.
yeah, we were all on
It's
that
not
table.
attractive. Yeah. All of us. You're right. All of us
So
on it.
what happened? What happened was no, I was talking about me and my husband. So what happened
No, I
was that
know. I'm adding us into it, sir. But
when I came off
bad.
when I came off that table, Uncle came off the table by himself.
Yeah, because there's nothing to respond to. Remember, it's a dance.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a dance.
There was no music. There was no music no more.
There's
So what
no
are you
music to
dancing
dance to. Exactly. And that doesn't mean you're blaming yourself. This is where the Gen Z and the woke people will come in and say,
You remember
why are
they
you
came for
blaming
me on
yourself?
the show. They said
Oh,
I was
they did,
blaming. I
right?
said I'm not blaming my. Yeah, they did. I said I'm not blaming. What I'm saying is that I was
Right.
able to see through the fence.
Yes. I do agree. You know, if you remember, I don't subscribe to guilt, right? Guilt is just as much of a toxic thing, right? Fault, judgment, condemnation, guilt. Number 6 here, right? I do agree, but there's a fine line. There's a blurry line. I will never tell you not to self-reflect. I don't care I don't care how woke you are. I will never tell you not to self-reflect that maybe there's something you can't see in your own behavior. It doesn't make sense to just tell people to not self-reflect. They're always the victim. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, if it makes sense to you, there is an issue because again you're making conclusions, right? Earlier Tima says, well, she's still on a healing journey. We're always going to be on this journey until we delete. There's no you're flipping. It's just like religious people that make conclusions without any room for. You're the same thing. You're flipping to the extreme other hand, and you're now saying now you're always a victim. No. You were a victim. You can conclude that if in reality it's concluded. If you don't conclude it, you're right. It continues for as long as you want to continue to nurture and build on top of it. But don't expect your power to come into a space where you are putting a lot of focus on your victimhood. It's not going to happen. It's just going to be, it's a difficult thing, right? I understand people have to go through a healing, a process. You have to acknowledge what they're going through. I completely get that, right? But at some point, I want to hand you your power. And your power is in self-control. So if you tend to overreact to everything, slow down so you can see what's going on for your own good. You're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it for your own good,
for yourself.
The other person
for your
don't have
health.
it for your own mental health. The other person don't have a choice. If you're patient enough, it's not instant, because sometimes they're expected you to act the way you acted yesterday. So don't come back to me 3 days later and say, I tried that, it doesn't work. No, bro. You need to tell me a little bit more about what you tried, okay? And first of all, when you were trying it, were you doing it for him? You shouldn't be waiting for them to react. You should be doing it and start enjoying it instantly. You should have an instant peace of mind by not overreacting to bullshit. It should be instant if you're doing it the proper way, right? Now, in terms of them responding to it, it's a matter of time. It's a process. They don't have a choice because you've internalized it. It's deeply rooted. The reason, the why, the purpose is there. It's not about them. It's about you. So you're not going to stop just because they don't respond. This thing I'm asking you to do, you're doing it for you. So there's no stopping it just because the other person doesn't respond.
Right.
But if you're doing it just because you want the other person to respond, it's already the foundation is bad.
The aim is defeated
Instantly, because as you're looking for them to respond, they will actually not. They will tell you. In fact, they will be the first to tell you tomorrow that I knew it. Fake, you're faking it. I knew it. You're deceiving yourself. Who are you following, right? So it needs to, whatever it is measure that you are using, whatever strategy you're using, it needs to be for you first, right? And it's just an added bonus, right? When I say, how do I get my wife back, which is what people Google and they stumble into red pill or feminist, toxic feminists. What they find is what they will find when they go on Google is people telling them that it's not their fault, it's the fault of the other person. That's what they find, right? So they now get in there. They might hear a little bit of work on yourself, but that's not the part that's sweetening them. The part that's sweetening them, that is, it was not my fault all along. I knew I wasn't crazy. The feeling is okay that you're getting that, but it's temporary. At some point, I want you to re-engage your power so that whatever choice you decide to make, either you're staying in that relationship or you're leaving, you can live with it for the rest of your life because you made it with your full chest. It was good for you. It wasn't about the other person. It doesn't mean you're blaming yourself. You're just taking your power back. Listen.
Allah, there's this lady on Instagram. Her name is April Mason.
Yeah, I know April.
Yeah. So I watched one of her videos.
You watched the hardly initiated episode?
No.
Oh, okay, because I haven't seen that. I know she was on there, right?
Yes.
Was she on that? Yeah.
Yes, I think she was, but she was on Dear Future YP too. So
yeah.
She was talking about
that one. That's the one I'm talking about. Dear Future YP.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Okay.
So there was something that she talked about feminine power, and she talked about something like women asking for something and the way you ask. And sometimes I went to do like a reflection, and I figure like sometimes the reason why I don't get some things I think is the way I asked.
Yeah.
So after listening to that and I put that into practice, like I don't think from that time that I watched that, I start practicing that feminine energy thingy till now. I don't think there's anything I've asked for that I didn't get.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Because
his balls are yours. His balls are yours. Once you understand that your power is not in your mouth. That is not that way, right?
And now that's when I understand when they say women don't understand the power that they have.
Yeah.
It's not that understanding.
Yeah. No, it's not men. Men don't understand it sometimes. Men are struggling with their own struggles.
No, women, ourselves, we don't know the power that we have. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. As individuals, I think it's individual across the board in these modern times. Men also think they can replace women. They don't admit that they're doing it, but when you're talking so loud and you're nagging like a woman, that's not where your power is. Men are also struggling with similar. It's a little bit different, but it's very similar. What they're struggling with is a misplaced essence, misplaced power, right? Misplaced energy, right? You're not men when you're just sure of yourself. A man who is sure of himself, right? He might argue with the woman he loves because he cares. He wants you to get his point, right? But at some point, if he knows better, he just slows down and he knows that his power is making you feel safe and secure, right? But if he engages that at a level where it's a basketballs, right, it's not going to work. Now, what you did is good, and it's beautiful that he's responding. If he's not responding, it's not sustainable for a woman to be leading in that way, right?
That's true. I agree, 100%.
It's not sustainable. A man who understands his essence, he can engage his masculinity, and even though it takes a little bit longer, he can say she needs to feel safe. He knows it for a fact that this woman I'm married is just a fact. She just needs to feel safe and secure. This moment that I'm feeling funky, I don't like her mouth, she's a little disrespectful, it's just this moment. It's just now. It's just how she feels right now. He's so sure in himself that all he has to do is sleep over it for 30 minutes and it's over. It's a wrap. Right? But that moment when you engage your feminine energy as a man, which we have it too, right? It's misplaced. That's not where you thrive, right? It gets worse. It's like you touch polar opposite of the same polarity. It's chaos. It's just bad. There's no polarity, literally, right? If anything, you create more of the same. Whatever it is that you don't enjoy, it's blowing up in your face, right? As opposed to a synergy, right? So is the issue is misplaced masculine and feminine energy on either side. That's what it comes down to. There are some exception where, oh, he's just happened to be more feminine. They're not the majority because that's not our social construct. Okay, so I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about you, that you're actively competing with each other. You should not expect any kind of polarity in that situation. You should understand that whatever it is that you don't like that you're creating right now, that basketball will create more of it. It's as simple as that. But when a man knows, it might take even longer, especially if there's been damages in that relationship. It might take a little bit longer than is palatable, right? But a man can still handle that, and it's worthwhile when he start getting results because he gets to take credit for all of it. He gets to so you should blame me for everything. Yeah, because you get to take credit for everything when it does start becoming good results. Like, duh, it's the same thing, right? So it's a beautiful thing. It's 8 p.m. I want to round up. Let me get some last thoughts from you, ladies of prestige. Who wants to go first? Tima went already. That's what you did there. Give me your last words.
Yeah. I'm here.
I didn't realize that.
You know, I missed majority of the show.
Right.
But just like you said earlier, we need to learn how to sorry, there's a party going on in my backyard. We need to what's it? I'm looking for the right word to do self reflect. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Self reflection is very, very important.
Yeah.
We also have to understand ourselves and the purpose. So if you're into a marriage, you have to understand what is the purpose of that relationship. What are you doing if it's marriage, you have to understand what is your own purpose as a wife and understanding what is the purpose of the man.
Yeah,
and
just
with
focus
that,
on you. Just focus on you and your own role.
Right. So if you know what the purpose of the man is, you'll be able to act accordingly, and then you'll be able to achieve something. So in general, it's just about intentionality, honestly speaking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, Natu. I appreciate
I'll
you.
go back and watch the replay.
Yeah, you should. Don't forget to say replay gang in the chat when you go there. All right. So here's the thing. Right after you're done with this program right here, I'm going to redirect you to a video. Okay, just in case you missed it when it first happened. Okay. It's called Get Off My Stage. This was something that happened between Babyface and Anita Baker. What's it going on 2 weeks right now? So if you want to see my reaction to that, make sure you go watch that. Okay. And then just to leave us, here's another generalization. Men are by nature meant to spread their seeds. Monogamy is a Western concept. Look at animals. Look at lions. One male with multiple lionesses.
Oh, you're right.
You're not wrong, but there's more to that story. Maybe you can tell us more about the story. That's gross generalization that will pretty much hurt you, even though you're right. Okay. Here's another one. Most men who act too religious, overly zealous, and preachy are in a lot of cases just showing us a persona. Really? All right. Again, she said most. Probably most men that you've encountered in your particular circle. I can't tell you your.
You're right.
So you haven't told me that you're talking about all 1 billion men in the world, right? So I'm just gonna leave it alone that you're right, but just keep in mind that this mindset, you're probably going to attract what you fear the most. And last but not least, fear that the other gender, even if you check their phones daily, you can never get them until God says it's time to expose them. All right, so this person didn't start with men or anything like that. She's saying fear. So as usual, Correct. Fear is a powerful motivator, emotions, whatever you want to categorize it to. If you notice that the kind of content you've been that you've been consuming, not capitalizing. If you notice that this type of content is what you've been consuming, and you notice that it's more fear-based, fear-mongering, and all that kind of stuff, I want you to understand that the bloggers will, yes, continue to capitalize on the trend because that's a business for them. It is what it is, right? But you need to understand that you do have power. You have autonomy to take control of that, okay? Just pay attention to yourself. Don't listen to anything I say. Whatever content you're consuming, what does it make you feel at the end? The feelings you're getting, are they temporary? Do you need to feed on them on a regular basis? And is it reflecting positively in your life? Those are the questions you should ask. If it's working for you, keep doing it. If it's not working for you, then I would definitely ask you to consider what we're talking about here. So again, right after this, I'll redirect you to this video, okay? And tomorrow we have tons of content coming at you, so make sure you stay subscribed, make sure you hit the like button on your way out, okay? And hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.